What up? What up? So Hank's camera is not connecting to StreamYard, I guess, or something.
Yeah. Streamers looking to get itself fired at this point. I mean, I can see me, and no one else can see me. I can see me reflected. I'll prove it.
Can YouTube see you? Let's look at YouTube.
I doubt it.
Oh.
I'm gonna go back to Chromium since it's not. Let me check YouTube first, and I'll go back to Chromium.
Hey, Annie.
Hi.
Yeah, YouTube can't see me. My camera is working.
Appreciate it.
But StreamYard's screwing up. They're getting.
Yeah, I can see Annie. Annie's camera's working.
Yeah.
How's your week been, Annie?
Good. I'm still working on finishing my sister's thing. I decided to put a more like sweatery lapel on it.
Oh, okay.
You know,
Did
just
you
like
manage to figure out that like waviness?
I don't totally understand why it was happening, but I think just different yarn type. Cotton isn't as elastic, and I love cotton. I love the way it feels, but it just didn't work because I'd done the exact same thing on a different sweater and it worked out fine. So that's why I decided to do this more traditional type of lapel, which I don't really like, but it's normal. You know, looks like a normal sweater thing to do. So
yeah, it looks good.
Yeah. It's just taking a long time. It's like just inch by inch, you know, I'll do like maybe 6 inches a day. So I'm not even halfway done. But yeah, the week was good. Everything was fine with the rental. Russ talked to the landlord guy, and he's just, you know, blast. He's not much of a communicator, but there were no immediate plans, you know, to change anything. And
you can breathe for now.
Yeah. You know, we just have to make it until we can get into that other big house, you know, and then everything will be fine. But if something
big house,
we're inheriting the main house.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay.
And it's just, you know, a matter of time.
Yeah.
Perfect. So I just need to make it until then, you know. Because it might be really disruptive if things change before then. But he surprised me, though, a really big surprise, really out of character. He was just sitting there looking at his iPad as always, and he says, I bought something. He was like on his thing purchasing. And I said, oh, okay, what'd you buy? I was expecting him to say like a new tool or something. It's usually what he buys, or some new boots. You know, he's got like 20 pairs of boots.
It's Russ. Okay.
Yeah, Russ. Yeah. And he said, tickets to see Beats Antique in February, which is a band that I like. So out of character, like it was just something he did for me. He doesn't even like live music. So like we're gonna go somewhere and do something.
Nice. So, you're gonna go and then maybe stay more than half an hour.
Yeah. Oh, I hope they start on time, you know. But yeah. So that was very surprising, and I'm excited.
When's the concert?
It's on Valentine's Day. So
wow.
We're actually going to do something on Valentine's.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hank, you gave up?
No. I didn't give up, but I am very pissed off at StreamYard. I tried their restricted firewall mode to see by the package on getting to me that they're not good at programming their app.
I tried watching the stream that you sent me where you were typing yourself with those typing tests, and it's just unwatchable. Like, first of all, you have snafu snaps that comes in and disrupts the whole thing. And then when you're actually taking the test, you just like click on stuff. You're not even talking out loud what the question is, nothing. You're just like clicking, click. It's just you taking the test.
Right, but so if you're too bored to figure it out, then I don't really care. I got the test results. It's been a year and a half since I took the test.
Well, if you want to take the test with us now, you could share your screen and we can talk it out like normal people, and we could see how you actually take the test. Not that the test is accurate or it's got a good metric or the questions are good or any of that, just that we can actually discuss what the answers you actually do answer.
Okay.
If you want. Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably reasonable, except the fact that no one does that. Do a test as a group. That doesn't even make any sense. But we could try that. But I mean, if your model couldn't type me in 2 years, then it's just too slow.
I think we can though, Hank. I think we
typed,
feel, yeah, we feel pretty confident what your type is. It's just that you don't agree, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you say my type was?
I think you're an ISTJ. Silence.
I don't see if Benjamin even agrees with you.
I agree, yeah.
All right. And that's the basis is
the truth is a feeling, Hank. That feels true to me.
All right. Well, if that's as far as you can go, then we might as well just get the DARPA out.
Which
means you and Annie are in the same quadra.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, same functions, different order. Yeah.
Except, are you using MBTI or are you using what's it called? OPS.
OPS, yeah.
Okay, well, if it's OPS, then I'm sure I can agree. It's OPS ISTJ. It's just I don't care about OPS because it doesn't work.
I'm using Young, and you're also SI Dom and Young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I make it to the freaking I make it to the show on time. Is that why?
Yes, that's exactly why. Because you make it to the show on time.
All right.
We all make it to the show on time. Anyone can make it to the show on time, Hank. Come on.
Anyone can, but just not everyone does.
And ISTJs can be very chaotic with time too. They don't have to always be so organized the way we stereotypically think of them.
Mm-hmm.
That's an OPS, so anything can make sense.
Sure, Hank.
How about that Trump being captured Nicholas Maduro?
Oh yeah, that was something to wake up to.
It was a pretty badass mission that you guys pulled off there.
Yep.
It was pretty good.
And I like this new president. I like, if you don't like a politician, we could ship them to somewhere else. I like this.
Yeah, only the justice system is probably going to release him back into the wild. It looks like you guys are going to say he's not guilty or something.
I don't know. Or we can bring back duels. That's always an option. I hope Trump challenges him to a lightsaber fight. That'd be
well, what you really need to do is just wait for Venezuela to get their sovereignty back and then deliver him back to them to face justice over there.
I thought that would work.
That will definitely work. Just keep him in jail until he can face justice in Venezuela.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, if we do that and he just goes somehow gets let out, then
nah, he won't be. He won't be.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the Venezuelans hate him, and they'll put him to trial and take care of him. I wouldn't worry too much about that. Yeah.
Well, that's what the Europeans said about Trump too, and he's president again, so
yeah. Yeah, I mean, you guys pulled the plan off the shelf and executed the plan, and it worked out perfect. No deaths.
No deaths yet. We didn't even start getting the oil.
Yeah, now you guys get a bunch of oil. Apparently, Venezuela has the most oil in the world. Apparently.
Well, won't be for long. We're going to take that.
Yeah. That's what's going to happen.
Yep.
Yeah, it's good to see that other people are like you're getting experience and like you like you never really know when the tires meet the road, like what's actually going to happen. Because like it's all theoretical. You know, how is your military? How strong is it? What can it do? What are its potentials? And then if you carry out like a successful mission like that, then it's, debate's over sort of thing.
Yeah, BB better watch out. I mean, he's been staying in office for quite a while.
I don't think that BB has anything, or BB or Israel or anyone over here has anything to worry about from you guys, to be honest. Only bad actors.
Well, you better keep following that plan.
Yeah.
Whatever it is. I can't discuss.
Also, I don't think you guys really want to pick a fight with us.
We don't.
It's not in anyone's best interest, really.
No, we don't. You actually have a really good military. We don't want to fight you.
Yeah. Although I'm sure you guys have plans on the shelf if that ever happens. And I'm
Just
sure
like
we
Batman.
have them too. Yeah, we've got plans for it too, I'm sure.
Yes, just like Batman.
Yeah. Yeah, and it looks like Iran is going to be liberated too. So it's 2 countries. I don't know if Venezuela will, because like you took out the leader, but all of his support structure is still there. What's up, Denizen? He's saying hello. Come on, come say hi. Yeah, did you process anything else interesting this week, Hank?
I was not really, pretty much too tired.
Did you work 60 hours or you went back to your 40?
Back to the 40.
Nice.
But somehow I'm also part-time, but the days can't count. So we can corporos.
Yeah.
Yeah. StreamYard's looking to get freaking fired. I mean, my camera. It's not StreamYard's like getting the camera packets back, even though it appears on my side, and it's very stupid.
Oh, he's in his new place. That's good. Nice. So we got to wait till you get internet over there. I mean, it's working fine for me. StreamYard. Maybe it's its update to the new privacy stuff because you're using Linux. It doesn't like you.
Well, not liking Linux is a good way to get fired around here.
So what are you going to use instead of StreamYard?
I don't know yet, but But if StreamYard doesn't work and anything else does work, StreamYard's on the chopping block. They're not getting any more money from me unless they can fix this. I think getting the dang phone call packets is not that complicated. So if they somehow broke it, it's on them.
Okay. So what's the MBTI test you did? Truity Labs?
Yeah, let me go ahead and log in.
How about you? What did you process this week, Annie?
Just kind of I kind of got a really slow start to the year. And then yesterday I realized like, oh, wow, it's the 5th and it's the first Monday. I really need to do some admin stuff, I was just kind of coming online slowly. And then also I was really wounded by this thing not working out. And I sort of avoided it for a couple days. And it was really weird, my reaction when I realized I wasn't going to finish it on time. I felt really dramatic, like I wanted to, disembowel myself or jump out a window because it was like really shameful that I didn't finish on time. And that was, I can get really intense about my artwork or crafting when it really isn't that important. It's not like I'm not earning money from it. I just get really, really intense about it, so
like you take it personally, like your competence or something like that.
Yeah. And I think just that I was so sure I could do it, and then I couldn't. And the fact that it was,
you probably could have, to be fair. It's just, You
Well,
don't
I
have
really couldn't, because I was working a lot on
to.
this, several hours a day. And then those last 3 or 4 days, I was pushing myself so hard that I'm still injured. I got,
Ooh.
I got a trigger
Yeah.
point in this, right, brachioradialis muscle, if you reach out and turn a doorknob, that
Yeah.
part right there, that it sort of affected the whole arm and it's still messed up. I was just certain actions.
Yeah.
I don't think I could have pushed myself any harder. And, even waking up early that morning and giving one more push,
Right.
just,
Yeah.
But, I'm learning, and I think that I'm doing really well because I've seen other
You're
people.
doing amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen other people in the Facebook groups and the crochet and just saying like, I just can't get this. I've tried so hard and I'm just not good at this. And I think that, they have different learning styles, maybe. Because for
Right.
me, I'm going to YouTube and I'm watching videos, but I also have this determination because I've watched hundreds of videos. And I think other people watch a video and they're like, "Fuck this, it's tedious."
Right.
They can't concentrate on that sort of task for very long.
Right.
But I just have a determination, and I think that's why I was able to become pretty
Yeah. Good for
proficient.
you.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, it's not like you failed. Like, it's not like you're unable to do it. You're just the timeline.
Yeah.
That's all.
I just needed more time. Yeah.
Right. Can you make it a bit bigger? It's kind of small on my screen. Yeah. All right. You're an ENTJ. Okay, done.
No, we could discuss the thing, but I'm not taking a test by committee, especially I pay for it. I don't know if I pay for another's test, but I'm not gonna take a test by committee. That's just stupid. But we could debate the results. That's fine with me.
See, I think it'd be more interesting to debate your answers. If you're answering them one at a time and you say like, "Yes, I do this," and we'll say, "Do you really, Hank?"
Yeah. So that's me taking a test by committee. I'm not doing that.
No, not by committee. You take the test, but we'll give you feedback on whether you're answering correctly or not.
That's a committee.
No, that's just you saying, "Where did I answer the questions wrong? Prove it to me."
Well, you got bored when I recorded and did. You got bored trying to watch the video, so
yeah, because you were just answering questions without talking it out, without justifying.
All right.
You were also tired from Snafu. Snafu came on and disrupted the whole thing.
Didn't use my interaction with Snafu as a basis for figuring out my type then.
Okay, well, I typed you as ISTJ then.
All
right.
That's as good as my toilet paper, at least.
Look at the top there, personality test. See there? Yeah. Here we go. 16 types. There you go. There we go.
All right, so you want me to take the test by committee instead of discuss the results of the... All right, didn't you hear my answer the last 3 times?
No, you didn't call out your answer. You weren't even reading the question.
I said negative. I said, no, I'm not doing a test by committee.
All right. Well, I guess you won the debate because you're refusing to take part.
Well, you refused to review the video, so we're at an impasse.
I didn't refuse. I looked at your video.
Yeah, and you said, no, I don't want to look at it. I'm too bored. And so
no, because I have to actually make it big and read your answers because you're not talking. You're not sharing what you're doing. You're like, yep, this one, this.
Can't you use my behavior itself as a basis to figure out my type?
All right, Hank, you're being unreasonable.
It's fine me. It's your opinion, man.
I think you're just afraid to come out something different. You like ENTJ. That's it. It's just your FI.
I was INTJ for freaking a decade or two before I became typed out ENTJ.
Mm-hmm. I mean, INTJ is definitely closer, except for the fact that you're definitely not an intuitive. There's no doubt about that.
Even though each and every test I ever took gave me intuitive. Okay.
Yes.
I think that means your definition of sensing intuitive is just different than the one everyone else is using.
Yeah, I'm sure it's because of the definition, Hank.
All right, and use a different definition. Then it's whatever you're saying. It's just not doesn't apply to. I guess most people how to use the system.
Hmm.
I got an interesting text message from Russ yesterday in the afternoon that I thought was also pretty unusual and out of character. He texted me, "There's some birds over here." And I said, "Where? What kind? How many? Are you okay?" And he said, "In Joe's backyard, there was a crow and then there was a blue jay." And I said, "Oh, that sounds important."
What?
Yeah. I asked him about it later. And he said, "Well, I was all alone. I was working all alone and I saw some birds and I just wanted to share that with somebody."
Ah.
But I mean, like a picture would have made more sense. Like, look at this pretty blue jay.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, a picture would made more sense. I agree.
And like in my mind, I was thinking like he's being held hostage. Somebody has a gun to his head and he's sending me a weird text just to like tip me off that something unusual is happening.
Right.
Nah, he'd probably break out the situation himself.
Yeah, he'd be okay. Maybe.
I mean, he's been able to evade the camera for how many years? So
we caught him a couple times.
Yeah. He doesn't like it, so he doesn't like to be on camera.
There's not enough old ladies here for him.
Yeah. If this was an old lady hangout, he might be into it.
True. Yeah.
I'm getting my mom's partner gives me and Russ gift certificates every time. I don't know if I already told you this or if somebody else.
I don't think so.
Yeah, well, anyway, he always gives us $50, but this year he gave us $75 because of inflation.
Inflation, right?
And Russ got one for Home Depot, and he bought something right away that evening. And I really thought about it for a while. Mine was from Amazon, and then I remembered that I really wanted a high velocity blow dryer for Hazel, because in the winter, like in the summer when I wash her, then I just take her on a walk in the sun and it's fine. She dries really quick. But in the winter, I'm washing her in between grooms, so her hair is much longer, and she'll be wet and uncomfortable and shivering and upset for like 4 hours. It takes a long time to dry. So I got this more professional. It was like an $80 high velocity blower that it just sort of, it has some warm air, but mostly it's just blowing the water out of the fur. So I'll get that today, and she really needs it.
Scared of it? You think she'll be scared?
Well, her groomer uses blow dryers, so she's been exposed to this before.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, she'll be okay.
I do see something curious. So this test actually does a match against all the types, and they just award me what gives me the highest match. They actually did inspect whether I matched ISTJ, and they only gave me a 55% match according to that metric.
Sean's here. What's up, Sean? He's muted again, though.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that report's different or the same.
What about how do they describe ISTJ there? I wonder if they're accurate about that too.
Let me screw up and show you. Sean leave. Or did I kick him off by accident?
No, you didn't kick him off by accident. He does that. He comes on muted and then he drops.
Oh,
I don't know why. He struggles to connect or
Oh,
something.
okay. I'm gonna blame StreamYard for
Inspector?
that too.
Why is ISTJ an inspector? Doesn't make sense.
Yes, it's IJ's responsible organizers driven to create and enforce order within systems and institutions.
Yeah.
You don't agree with their definition, I guess.
Yeah, I know.
It's
not even a definition. It's a
description.
Yeah.
But that makes more sense. You don't agree with this description they're using it just like I hypothesized.
Yeah.
Sean.
Yeah, you're roboting, Sean. We can't hear you.
I must have bad internet.
You're good now.
All right.
How you been?
We'll talk some more philosophy.
How's your
wasn't too bad. It was pretty chill.
Yeah.
It's been pretty cold last week.
Did you get any good gifts?
It's unusually cold here.
Do you do that stuff?
Say again?
Do you do all the gift giving stuff?
Yeah. We did like Chris Crindle.
Crindle?
Chris Crindle. It's like where everybody has some person to give a present to and you only have to give one present. So you don't have to give presents to everybody.
Crindle. You're sure it's
Chris
Crindle?
Crindle it's called. Chris Crindle.
You sure it's not Kringle? No.
It's called Chris Crindle, and it's like a thing where people do. They instead of giving presents to everyone in the family, it's too expensive. So you just give it to one person. You pick one person to pick. Give a present to.
So what'd you get?
The cheap stuff. It wasn't too big. It was like €50 minimum. Got like painting.
You got a painting?
Painting, and then I got a notebook thing for art stuff.
You do art stuff?
All right. Yeah, I did. Doodling.
Can you show us some stuff?
No.
All right.
It's not that great.
You want to draw new stuff right now somehow?
Say that again.
Draw new stuff and Benjamin can help you draw, and you can critique it.
I can help you draw. We can draw by committee.
Yes, draw by committee.
Yeah, I mean that's what artists do in cartoons. They all draw the same thing. That's probably how they do it in art stuff. When they do comics and
they all just draw the same thing.
No, I'm not that good. Well, you guys good at art? Benjamin, have you ever tried doing some art?
Yeah, do some art. I dabble.
Can you draw?
Yeah. I mean, I don't practice drawing, but I was always getting like very high grades in art class.
My auto avatar is something I edited myself.
I'm really not good at drawing, and when I practice it, I did improve, but I just have high standards, and I just had this feeling like, I'm not really good at it's not my thing.
Yeah.
I'm better at three-dimensional stuff.
Yeah, they say, well, I think everything is art. Like a lot of things in life is art. I think
everything is art.
Life is art.
That makes sense to me.
I guess I'm good at 3D and concepts. The concept behind the work was always pretty interesting, but actual drawing was just not very good.
You got AI now, if you want to.
Yeah, Stable Diffusion is pretty easy, and there's free farms, so you don't have to spend any money on it. And if you want, you could use there's an app you install in LibreOffice, so you can just get the image right down in the document you want to edit it into. So, or if you want to edit it further.
What have you been processing recently, Sean?
YouTube videos. I'll be watching a lot of YouTube stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of the internet now is AI.
Okay.
I watch a lot of politics. What else do I watch?
Politics.
Religion stuff.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Science, environmental stuff.
Why do you
So that's all
forget like
art.
entire conversations between sessions?
Say again?
You like forget a
'cause
whole
I
bunch of
said
stuff
this
we already
before.
talked about.
Oh, I said this before. But like, yeah, so when I say everything is art, I'm like saying my life is art. So I'm just explaining what I'm doing without, literally doing art. I'm doing art of the phone.
Are you a chaos magician?
Art of the phone. Okay.
Of watching the phone.
He's a chaos magician, yes.
Sean, are you a chaos magician?
The hell does that mean? Yeah, well, everything is chaos, man. The universe is chaos. There's no order in chaos. Is there order in chaos?
Yeah, of course there is.
Yeah, there is. Yeah.
In fact, Alex Jones has a catchphrase that is literally order all chaos.
Well, there is an emergent order and structure in chaos.
Yes, and there's an emergent chaos and order.
Sure.
Right.
Right.
Deep. Man, the weather. I mean, how's the weather there in Israel?
It's like I don't want to complain that it's cold because it's definitely way colder everywhere else. But yeah, it's a cold part of the time. Cold. We have what's it called? Our showers. We have to turn on the power for your hot water. Otherwise, it's just always off, and usually it just heats up on its own by the sun. So usually I take showers in the morning. So usually by the time I'm awake, there's already enough sun to have hot water. But in the winter, you can't. I got to set my alarm, wake up early, turn on the hot water, all that stuff.
What is the overnight temperature in Fahrenheit?
Oh God.
Just give in real numbers. We'll convert it to F. Give it in Celsius and we'll convert it to F.
I mean, it's different everywhere.
Just make something up then. Or we could just look it up ourselves.
So it's like 12 degrees at night, I guess. So I guess 59-ish Fahrenheit.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's like summer.
I guess so, but it feels really cold for some reason. Because
Yeah.
we don't have carpets. I don't know. For some reason, like in Canada, it's way colder, but you don't feel cold indoors because you have good insulation. Here, there's no insulation.
Yeah, I think it's just a relative thing. Like when Russ had to go to Los Angeles to clean out his parents' house, and his stay kept getting extended, so he was gone like 6 or 7 weeks. It was crazy. It's the longest I've been apart from him. And he came back and we were having a really, really warm day, and he kept turning on the heater. And that's the thing. He always makes fun of me for turning on the heater. But yeah, it's just you get used to the temperature. So it feels shocking.
I don't know how the Eskimos do it, because it's pretty cold here in Ireland, but it's dangerous now because it's damp cold. So if you don't heat the house, it could be dangerous, like mold and stuff. But like,
the Eskimos have like houses now, right? They don't live in igloos anymore.
Yeah, but back in the day, they had igloos, and like, did they have fires inside? They probably had fires inside. Yeah, but they probably had fires inside to keep warm, because I don't know if they would survive without a fire.
You don't need one in an igloo. It gets pretty warm inside. Yeah.
So you think the ice is insulating itself?
Oh yeah, definitely. Ice is a very good insulator.
Still, though, I mean, yeah, they probably had loads of clothes on all the time.
Probably.
Like,
and they adapted to their environment. I don't think you're supposed
Yeah,
to
and I
call them
heard
Eskimos anymore either.
Really? What do you call
Yeah.
them?
Inuit?
Oh,
Maybe even that you're not supposed to call them. I don't know.
nothing is allowed.
I know. You're not supposed to call us whiteys either for some reason. I don't know why. Nothing's allowed.
What about
Yeah, but Jews are white.
Exactly. That's my
Some
point.
Jews are white, yes.
Sure, there's some Black Hebrew Israelites, but most Jews are white.
No, not most Jews. Some Jews are white.
How about this? Most Jews on this panel are white. Can I get away with that one?
All right.
Hank, would you like to be a Jew?
Not at this time.
He's American. Why does he need to be a Jew?
I mean, America could Israel allow all of America to become Jewish? If dictator came along and said, "I want the whole world to become, I want America to become Jewish," like if Trump said, "The Jews are correct. I got a vision," would all the Christians become Jew?
First of all, the more if he really truly understood the nation and the doctrine, then he would understand that no, you do not do that. You do not convert a whole nation to be Jewish. That doesn't work. America is America. It's got to find its own identity and express itself.
Yeah, I was looking up the atheism rate in America. It's growing in the West, but atheism is like atheism.
Yeah,
the growth of atheism.
No, atheism
like,
cult. Atheism cult.
Okay.
No, but like it's 50% in Europe atheism or less. Like the UK is 50% atheist right now. Okay. So I wonder what's this gonna do. We're all gonna become communist or something. Because atheists, we're very liberal. We're very
not always.
Not
no,
very
there's conservative atheists.
Like on Pine Creek.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're a minority.
Yeah, he's from Canada too. Benjamin Pine Creek Doug. He's from Canada.
Pine Creek Doug, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying that if the whole world went atheist, which I think could happen with science and logic, we just force you to accept the science. Okay.
Oh, I love this conversation because I used to be atheist myself. I really love this conversation. Okay. Have you seen Dark Matter 2525's channel?
No.
Yeah, I follow him. Yeah, he's quite a common. He's close to becoming communist. That guy.
Yes, and you know the main character of his cartoons. You know who's that called?
God.
Yes, which means you've seen God in Dark Matter 2525 cartoons.
Wow. Wow, that's art.
So in what sense does God not exist?
God is everywhere, if you believe. Just gotta believe it.
Now I'm just gonna go with my eyes and ears, just empirically. God exists in Dark Matter 2525 cartoons. So there's no need to be an atheist anymore.
So does that mean that he's God? If he's an atheist, but he's still God because God made him, so he's God as well. An atheist God that doesn't believe in himself.
I have no idea, but I will say there's proof of God in Dark Matter 2525 cartoons. There's evidence for God because he's the main character of the cartoon.
Right.
Welcome to theism, Sean.
I'm converted to what's your religion, Hank?
Stanley Unitarian Universalist.
Unitarian Universalist?
Yeah, which is it's a Christianity.
All right.
It's a branch. It's derived from what's it called? Calvinism.
So you still believe in Jesus?
Yep.
Yeah.
So should we if Jesus came back, right? You think he'll be like, "What's up with this? What's going on?" He'd be angry. He'd be smacking a few people. He'd be breaking the temple and shit. You know what I mean?
Maybe.
If
Yeah, so
Jesus
what?
came back,
He'll
What?
blend in. He'll blend in with the rest of Americans. We break stuff all the time. Unless he came back and dressed up like Darth
Hey,
Vader.
first of all, he
never
would
give
not.
a crap.
He would come back to Israel. That's where he's buried. That's where he lived. He never left Israel.
Except to go train in Egypt for a bit, but we gotta keep that in the down low.
Did he? I don't know.
Probably,
Probably. All right.
yeah. But where else would he learn all that magic? Other than them.
Yeah. Where else would he learn all those tricks on how to walk on water and convince people he's doing miracles?
Yeah, other than them.
oh yeah,
Egypt.
it's a Three Kings Day today. Three Kings.
Is that what it
So
is?
we celebrate that. So we're making a galette de roi, a cake for today.
Oh, you're French.
Special
Okay.
cake. Yeah, we do that galette de roi, and
You put like
Yeah,
a little king figurine inside of your cake, and then someone bites on it and discovers it.
yeah. So my family is funny. I'm atheist. My parents are conservative, like Trump's like crazy conspiracy theorists, anti-vaxxers. Most of my siblings are agnostic. I'd say there's maybe one that's very religious, and I'm the atheist crazy one. That looks like Jesus. That could be the new Jesus.
None of this
They'll
surprises
turn the
me at
whole
all.
world.
Sean. This is actually pretty mild compared to what I would have thought.
You know, Jesus was a radical man. He was
Was
a
he?
hippie guy.
Was he?
He was, yeah.
All right. I'll take your word for it.
Wait, have you heard of the Kelly family, the band?
No.
Well, look them up on YouTube. They're a really famous musical band in Europe,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm related to them. And they're a bit crazy.
Okay, they're a bit crazy, so you have to believe what they say.
Well, they're a bit like a cult. The father had like 10 kids, and they all turned them into musicians, and they made a band, and they're called the Kelly family. And they're like fascist, Christian fascist, and they moved to Spain in the 70s because they didn't like the liberal agenda in America. So he moved to Spain. And then he went to Germany and made loads of money busking. And then they got really popular. And then they were like huge and they made loads of money. And then they lost it all. And now they're less rich.
And so why did you bring them up?
Just to show you where I'm coming from. The crazy family.
That's your family? You're the Kinley family?
Huh?
That's your family?
Yes, I'm related to that.
Are you
related to
Tommy
that.
Kelly from Adventures in Boo Boo? Or you're not that guy?
Say it again?
Are you Tommy Kelly from the Adventures in Boo Boo channel? Formerly, what was that place? Used to be
Ryan Kelly? You think about Ryan Kelly?
Negative. I would show it to you. It's probably not you.
No,
But
don't think so. There's loads of Kellys. Like the Kelly name is the second most popular in Ireland.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, this is in your channel. Okay,
Adventures in Woo Woo. Okay.
so you're not this guy because it's very
No.
complicated. Oh, yeah.
What does he do? What does he do?
He used to criticize psychology. Then he just went into magic.
All right.
Oh, so he does magic now. He teaches you how to do magic.
Yes.
Dude, have you heard of that famous gay atheist guy who debunked a lot of the site who's that famous spoon bending guy from Israel?
Oh yeah. The mentalist guy. All that stuff is nonsense.
Is it what they called? Dennett? No, not the other guy. Not Penn who was the one that was a 4 horseman? What was the other guy?
Penn or Gillette?
Pendulette, I don't think he's gay though.
He's not.
No, I'm talking about this older guy who was like famous in the 70s, 80s, and he had a beard, and he
I know you're
he
talking
used
about.
to. He has a reward for $1 million if you can prove magic or spirituality stuff or something.
No, you're getting it mixed up. He tried to claim the reward. The guy, what's that guy?
Freaking got the picture. Yeah. Damn, it's not saying Daniel Dennett, right?
No, Daniel Dennett is not a magician. It was another guy. He was
James
a famous
Randi.
atheist.
James
You're talking about James Randi.
James Randi.
Yeah. He's not the Israeli guy. The Israeli guy tried to claim the prize from him.
Yeah, but he was giving a prize to prove magic or spiritual stuff or
yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there's much spiritual stuff or like all these healing practices or what they call homeopathy. All that pseudoscience stuff.
Homeopathy says change your diet.
Well, you can also convince people to believe that they're cured too.
Yeah, that's what shrinks do. Or they say it's your fault if you're not healing.
Right. Yeah, Uri Geller, there you go. Tried to claim the reward. Yeah. He's a big fraudster, Uri Geller. I mean, all magicians are fraudsters.
Including the ones that made your computer?
What? The mathemagicians? No.
Yes, the mathemagicians.
No, the mathemagicians aren't doing magic. They're doing math.
They're doing math and magic.
No, they're just doing math that some people can't understand, so they call it magic.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But the Magi, the three kings, they say that they were like magicians, so they knew how to do magic tricks and stuff like that. And they probably taught Jesus how to do it.
Could be.
Because they say he got taught in Egypt to do all these magic tricks, and he fooled the Jews that he was the chosen one, and stuff like that.
Well, he didn't.
A lot of con men back then.
He didn't fool the Jews at all. I mean, they killed him.
They killed him. Okay, Hank. Good history you got there.
But yeah, I mean, what do you think about what's her name? Candace Owens.
Dogs and Candy. I knew her when. Yeah, I knew her just when she was becoming popular. Dogs and Candy, everybody used to call her. But yeah,
she was really good back in the day at pushing back against victim mindset, especially in like black people. She was really good about that. But then she just lost her marbles. She went nuts.
Yeah, the Republicans don't know how to pick their black people. I used to be, I guess in there, but well, I'm not gonna say fantastic. Let's say Kennel, and I left him during the first Trump administration because he didn't do what he said he was gonna do. So.
I kind of feel like, she went crazy, but also it's like, it's a formula. It's like, be outrageous, get attention,
Yeah.
So
but now she's got an audience that, like, she doesn't have a rational audience, to be honest. She has an audience that is, demanding to be fed nonsense. So, yeah. Yeah, you might be right. I know that's what Kanye was doing. He was trying to be the most, controversial to get attention. And he was very open about admitting that. He's like, I don't actually believe this stuff. I'm just saying it because it's offensive and people get mad and I'll get attention.
Yeah, I'm not going for that. I'm just gonna be a sleeper cell. I just want just enough attention to pay the bills, and then I'll strike when the time is right. And you know who's gonna get hit? Uh, Probably StreamYard because they pissed me off.
That's
Well, you're not a
today.
decider. You're not a
Last
decider,
week
Hank.
it would have been the mechanic.
Right. You're not a decider, Hank. You're not an EJ.
No.
Not on your model, but
Yeah.
I'll email you the report because I don't remember if I emailed you the report. Then you could this mark like probably just redact the whole thing and say, hey, the whole thing's wrong. I don't like it.
Okay. So then why even send it to me if you know my answer?
Because it's fun.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I could be wrong.
All right, John, I got something for you if you're interested about chaos.
All right.
So apparently Moses was woke. He was more woke than God. Do you know the story about the mixed multitude?
All right.
Do you know the story about the mixed multitude? Do you know what the mixed multitude is?
Nope.
Yeah. So like this is like this is something that I think is present in any nation, like every nation. So it's present in England, in America, in Ireland, everywhere. We all have this mixed multitude among us. And the question is like, will the silent majority let them hijack us? Or will we, I don't know, be able to stand on our own sort of thing? So what the mixed multitude was when Jews left Egypt, when Israel left Egypt, there was a whole bunch of other slaves that joined them. And so Moses said, no, they can be a part of the nation against God. So Moses was like more woke. He's like, no, there's immigration. Immigration works. So Moses was kind of woke, allowing them in. And then they're really the ones that cause all the chaos and make all of the noise in the nation. So I mean, like the three major things is they caused division and infighting and drama, stuff like that. They were like the religious ones who like did the sin of the golden calf sort of thing, which because of that now we have to have some religious practices in order to keep them happy, I guess, because they really want these religious practices. So we got like the Temple Institute after that. And then also they were like fighting the entry to Israel as well. They were saying we're too weak, we can't conquer. They didn't have like the pride and strength. So the Zohar talks about the 5 types of the mixed multitudes. Is called Arab Rab, the 5 types. And you can really see them present in all societies today. Maybe I'll just bring it up. Is this interesting to you, or just skip forward?
No,
you're talking about like foreigners or different types of people in every country or personalities and stuff
No,
like that?
so they're part of your country,
different...
right? They're part of your country. They're part of your nation now after you've accepted them, right? But they're there and they're causing division. Is really what they do, is they cause division.
Do they have to be like the same race or different races, or is this all to do with personality, different types of ideas or something?
They can also be the same race. They can also be they could be Irish people among all of the Irish that are causing division and chaos inside your civilization. So here, let me pull something up here.
So this is what Adam Sandler was talking about in the movie, the Zohan.
No.
Zoran.
No, it's not what he was talking about. Okay, so here's the 5 types. So the first type is Amalekim, which are like the treasonist. They're the ones who are really going against national interest. So I don't know if you can identify them in your culture. The other one are the elites sort of thing. They want to harness power, and you trust them, but they don't have your best interest at heart, like Giboim. L'Faim are like the weak ones, the ones who are saying that we're too weak. They're the ones who are going against I guess the strength, like the national strength. You have like the Anakim, which are like the more like the famous ones. They're, I don't know, celebrities and stuff like that. And then you have Nephilim, the ones who are going against institutions for sexual diversity, I guess, is what they do. Yeah.
Wait, so they do a lot of sexual things, depravity and stuff?
Well,
you talk about the Nephilim. I thought you said right. Nephilim. You know, the aliens.
That's right, the Nephilim.
Is that the giants? The giants in the Old Testament.
Right. So these are modeled off of like these categories are modeled off of the giants. Yeah. So Anakim is one type, but they're like more the famous. The Nephilim, they're also one type of mixed multitude. So here we go. They all try to basically hijack the national narrative, the national consciousness. So they attack the fundamental building block of the nation, the family, by pushing against marriage and traditional roles. They are not liberating people. They are removing the structures that prevent societal collapse. They frame their lust for chaos as evolution. They sever the chain of generations. If the family unit dissolves, the transmission of tradition stops. They ensure the next generation is spiritually orphaned and morally fluid. Yeah.
Oh, so basically
I'm a Nephilim. He's thinking that I'm a Nephilim because
I'm
an atheist. I'm not a sexual guy, but
yeah, we all have these sort of archetypes within us, I guess, and they express themselves. But yeah, the people who are hijacking the nation, who are making the most drama, it's not the silent majority. The silent majority is the ones who are getting hijacked. It's like this loud minority that's causing chaos.
Does the silent majority have types too, or is it just a blob of NPCs?
I'm sure they do. I don't know.
So is this from the Talmud, or what book is this from?
Also, but basically it's from the Torah as well. And then lots of discussion about it. Yeah. But you can definitely see it in all nations. There is this I don't know, in-group that is actively fighting national interest.
I don't think you'll ever get rid of that. It's part of human nature, like, you know what I mean? You might be able to regulate it, but I don't think you ever get rid of the chaos fully.
Right.
Because if there's no chaos, there's no change. I mean, nature, it's like the universe itself. What's the laws of nature? There's chaos in nature, so you can't really predict. Did scientists say that if we know everything in the universe that we'll be able to predict everything and we'll be like gods or something?
Yeah, I mean, I guess you can, like, that's determinism, right? So if you believe in determinism, then you believe that you can predict everything if you had enough computing power.
Even if you were a determinist, you need more computing power within the universe itself to compute everything.
Well, you just have to compute our planet, I guess, really.
Figured you probably need an extra galaxy to run the computations. You better just wait to we just run the galaxy.
Right. But a determinist believes it's possible to do that.
I guess in principle.
In principle, yeah.
Yeah, possible. In principle, and something we actually do is two different things.
So here I had AI flesh this out. So Amalekim, the treasonous ones, they're not just agitators, they're betrayers. They act as a fifth column. When the nation faces an external threat, the Amalekim within govern or media argue the enemy's case. They leak intelligence, demoralize the army, or create policy that handcuffs the nation's ability to defend itself. They specifically target the nation's survival instinct, framing treason as higher morality or human rights. So that's type 1. The Giborim, the elites, are so the mighty ones, as established. These are the institution builders, the heads of academia, the judiciary, the corporate power, mechanism of hijacking. They gatekeep influence. They build institutions not for the sake of the nation, but to cement their own status. They create a caste system where only those who adopt their ideology can ascend. Attack on unity. They sever the head from the body, creating a ruling class that despises the values of the common citizenry. So that's the Giboim. The Rephaim, the cowards, the weak ones. They're the ones.
Jedi.
Right. They're the one, or the Jedi, sure. These are the ones whose hands loosen in times of crisis. They are the voices of appeasement. In an established nation, they are the leaders who fear conflict more than defeat. They will trade land, sovereignty, and dignity just to buy another day of quiet. They pathologize courage. They view the assertion of national will as dangerous and primitive, constantly urging the nation to de-escalate, even when being struck. Those are the weak ones. And so Anakim, like the famous ones, I guess. The giants, men of name, the men of renown. This is a crucial distinction. These are the cultural icons, the celebrities, the influencers who dominate the public eye. Mechanism of hijacking. They monopolize the national attention span. They turn national discourse into a vanity project because they have the platform, the fame. They become the de facto moral arbiters, despite often lacking wisdom or tradition. They replace the reverence for, I guess, they create cults of personality, yada yada. That's the fourth one. And the last one, the Nephilim, the depraved. They mask degeneracy as social progress. They attack.
What group would I be in?
I mean, we have all of these archetypes within us, right? This question is, do you let them get expressed? So they attack the fundamental building blocks of the nation, the family, by pushing against marriage and traditional roles. They are not liberating people. They are removing the structures that prevent societal collapse. They frame their lust for chaos as evolution. They sever the chain of generation. If the family unit dissolves, the transmission of tradition stops. They ensure the next generation is spiritually orphaned and morally fluid. Yeah. So they mask degeneracy as social progress. Anyways, yeah. So those are the.
So you're talking
types.
That sounds to me like the liberals, the atheists that are like that, the Nephilim.
Right. Well, you can see that they all kind of work together. They have a unity with each other. They're just different. Yeah, different wings, different.
They're all the same.
Well, yeah, they're all trying to. They're all actively hurting the nation in some way, and they might not even be conscious about it. They might not even know what they're doing, right?
Right. Well, I don't think that's my view. Would be more. That's the Torah, is it, or the Talmud, or whatever? What book is that?
I mean, it's just what they're. It's just like they were an actual group of people, right? At the beginning of the nation, they were the Erev Lav. They were actually an out group of people, and they were very they weren't yet assimilated into the nation, right? But yeah, basically, what it's talking about is like these archetypes within a nation that sort of go against it. And I mean, like, you could disagree with all the definitions and say those aren't real or whatever, but like you can see them pretty clearly today. Like they do exist in all nations.
Yeah. But I'm a lefty myself, so I kind of like the changes. But I understand that sometimes change could be harmful. It could backfire on you.
Well, it depends what your motivation behind change is. Like, is your motivation behind change to make the world more sexually fluid, or is your motivation behind change to improve things? Like, do you have an ulterior motive?
Well, that's subjective, isn't it? That's why a lot of the seculars say that morals are subjective. So they could say that some morals are good sometimes. And
Right, it's
bad
disingenuous.
sometimes.
Like they have another goal in mind, and they're pretending like they don't.
Sorry, I don't understand that. Just can you say that again?
Because, like, there are good faith people who really want change, but to improve things, to make things better. But then there's people who want change for whatever agenda they have. Like, they have an agenda and they're pushing change to get to their agenda, but they're not very honest about what their agenda is.
Like Trump, he didn't say I was going to take Venezuela when he was in the campaign.
Well, I mean, Trump is
I
the
don't think-
leader. Right? He's the de facto leader of the nation right now. So he's not his.
Yeah, but I
he
don't
doesn't
think
have
a lot
an
of people.
interest in destroying the nation.
I don't think a lot of people knew that he was going to do a lot of things that he's doing now. Well, to be fair, I think
It would be dumb if he let people know that. It probably wouldn't have succeeded if everyone knew about it. The reason he
never
did
called
so
your
is because he knew.
attacks.
Yeah. Whereas, like, if you had treasonous people, they would go off and telling people about it, or like you would see the mixed multitude go up in arms against Trump before he was able to do it. So the fact that he kept it secret from this mixed multitude meant like they couldn't get involved. But you see them speaking up now. You can see the mixed multitude speaking up now. They don't care about reality. They don't care about.
he's
what
not very
Venezuelans
popular
think
now.
about it.
He's lost a lot of support, so
don't
he
think
probably
so.
will lose. They say that the Republicans might lose the midterms or something.
I don't think
And
so.
The gay
I
liberal agenda will
Americans
take
are quite
over.
proud of. They're quite proud of that. They should be proud about it. It was a really good mission. They succeeded very well, flying colors.
Yeah, I mean, who's going to run against them? I mean, the Democrats just gonna do the exact same thing the Republicans do, so there's no point even changing.
Well, they might bring Obama back. Could they bring Obama back?
They had to bring Michelle Obama back. Barack Obama's always term limited out.
I don't think.
Or
I
Hillary?
don't think Obama's
Hillary
coming back.
Clinton?
I don't think they're coming
She's
back.
too old, and she's not hot enough.
Anyways, you guys have another 3 years of Trump. It's only been a year, guys.
But could they impeach him with this Venezuela stuff or Epstein stuff?
No.
It's but it's pointless. And people don't do anything to him. What they need to
No,
do,
everyone's united behind him right now.
yeah, what they need to do is take him to Canada and let Canada arrest him.
Yeah. What they need to do is they need to abduct him and pull him into whatever country abducts him.
Let Canada do it.
Yeah,
I don't
Canada
trust
has to
Mexico.
find
Yeah,
a
we're
king.
living in
I don't
very
trust
interesting
Mexico
times.
people.
To be fair, it's very entertaining. There's a lot of chaos going on right now. I predict more chaos.
Yeah, I don't trust Mexico to keep him in one spot. He'll just go on a bus like everyone else illegally immigrating. So I don't trust Mexico to hold him. So that's what I'm saying. Canada.
Like, to be fair, Trump didn't actually make the plans. He didn't go and carry out the mission, all that stuff. Like, you have good military planners that built the plans, and the plans were probably built years ago. They were just sitting on a shelf, and Trump is just the guy who's like, let's do that plan.
Yeah, he
Like,
rummaged through the shelf. I give him credit.
He rummaged through the shelf, exactly. So it's not like Trump did it. He just gave the go-ahead. He's probably not giving a go-ahead on a whole bunch of other plans. People are like, hey, how about this plan? How about this plan? And he's like, no, not yet, not yet.
So do you think they have like a 1,000-year plan? Like they think like 1,000-year ahead, and like they make pretend that they're democratic, but it's all the same.
No, the way military intelligence works is you have contingency plans for anything. So, like, you're not at war with Canada right now, but if you're ever at war with Canada, you pull the Canada binder off the shelf and you're like, okay, this is how we destroy Canada. It's there and it's ready.
Well, I heard you're going to take Greenland next. So I think if you take Greenland, it's pretty easy for you guys to take Greenland. To be fair, Europe is not as powerful. But we might, like, troll you European
Trump
League.
wants Greenland, yeah. I think he's going to try to take it legally, though. He's not going to try to do anything illegal.
Well, it doesn't
So
happen.
was the
I mean,
was Venezuela done legally?
No.
Yeah, tell me
Law?
No. And even if the guy was the de facto ruler and leader of Venezuela, it's not illegal either. He basically declared war. He committed acts of war against the U.S.
Yes, Trump technically broke the law, but who's going to stop him? I mean, come on.
What law did he break? He didn't break a law.
Bro, he doesn't. He's not allowed to declare war. Congress has to do that.
Yeah, but okay. So if another country declares war against you, you don't have to declare war. They've already declared war.
Well,
like Iran declared war against you, so you can technically just go fight Iran. You're at war with Iran.
That's not how it works. I mean, we had to declare war from our side. It's not valid. It's not valid police action.
Yeah.
He already has the guy. So what can you do?
I don't think so. I think like you're allowed to respond to acts of war.
That's a gray area.
Yeah.
But I want to hear Anne say something. She's like the Princess Leia with the hairstyle, and I'm Han Solo, and he's Darth Vader and all that.
Okay.
Yeah. So, like, from my perspective, like people around in my state, I don't see overwhelming support for Trump.
Yeah.
And I think not at all. Like, not where.
You're in a blue state, I guess. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, I mean, I would say like the whole West Coast. It doesn't have overwhelming support. And as far as the Venezuela stuff, I think like on some level, like a lot of the Venezuelan people are happy. You know, I mean, that was not, Maduro was not a good leader. So it was good in that sense. But I think all the stuff about drug, that's a fake agenda. I think the agenda is about oil, because most of the cocaine, no fentanyl is coming from there, or very little. The cocaine from Venezuela is mostly going to Europe. It's not coming here. So that's just a narrative. Like we're getting him on these drug charges. I do think that there is an argument that Venezuela is not managing the oil that they have very well. And maybe, they need a better system. But I also think, like, if we step in and say take control, like the big prize that we get is more access to oil. So I think that's the agenda.
Yeah. There could be like many different agendas and many different reasons. That could be one more.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. Is if Venezuela flips from BRICS to you guys, then you're leading in oil. Like that's the swing state for oil, basically, is Venezuela.
Yeah, and maybe like Afghanistan not producing enough drugs, so we have up production.
And it's another thing where I don't know if they did this thing. Do they have a plan that they're not telling us, or is there just no plan?
Yes,
like let's do this and make this chaos. Like, how are they going to? Because it's not just that Maduro was in charge. It's like all of the corruption. What's the plan to manage that? And I guess
maybe they have a plan, but the way I've seen Trump act is he doesn't want to be aggressive off the bat. He wants to give them a chance to play ball, and if they don't play ball, then phase 2. Okay, play ball, no, phase 3. Play ball now, okay, no, phase 4. Like that's how he sort of operates.
Yeah. So I heard we got made it up just now. That Doge is going to be charged of Venezuela. So I just made it up.
Elon Musk.
Yep.
He's going to send his rockets there with Teslas.
Exactly.
Tesla's going to. So if Elon Musk runs Venezuela, everything's going to be electric powered. So that could be very efficient, actually.
I don't know a lot about his organization, right? I just know like here, whenever like Hezbollah or Hamas or whatever, you kill the leader and then another leader steps up and takes over and does the same shit. So it's like, it's not enough to kill the leader of whatever regime you're trying to defeat. But here they didn't kill him, they captured him. So technically they could send him back and have him dismantle. Like he could play ball,
It's also just
Yeah,
shocking to us because to a lot of people because that it feels like the Wild West. Like this is not really how we do things, you know? This is not
Right.
how we've
well, you
done
kind of
things. And
did.
so it's all really
America
shocking
was
though to
always doing this.
be no, but yeah, they were having agendas and lying about the agenda and really like having, resource and monetary interests. That was the real interest. But I mean, not how we do things in terms of going around the checks and balances. I mean, that the total idea of checks and balances is like pretty fundamental
Mhm.
to American politics, and all of that is in complete chaos right now.
I can see
And I
like
think
how you would see Trump as going rogue, sort of thing.
yeah, well, it makes people nervous because
Yeah.
the checks and balances make them feel safe. Like no
Right.
one leader is going to, you know,
Yeah.
Well, maybe it would be more fair if Trump challenged Maduro to a duel. They're like the olden days. I think that'd be
I
more fair.
I also don't think it's only Trump, right? Like he had to have a lot of people take part in it. Like it's his whole cabinet. It's not him specifically.
no, it's just the playbook that
Right.
he thought, so other people wrote this playbook, but he was like,
He approved
I'm
it.
gonna
He was
I'm
like,
gonna go
let's
in
do it.
this direction. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, if he did wager the country on the duel, and if he wins, he gets Venezuela. I mean, Trump can lose a duel. Maduro's incompetent, so they should totally duel.
I mean, for the people of Venezuela, this is good news.
Mhm.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
for the region in general, it's good news.
Right. And especially theoretically, but like in the short term, what kind
Right.
of, chaos, it could be pretty messy for a while.
Could be. Yeah.
Yeah, there could be a lot of people dying in Venezuela. There could be a full-on war in Venezuela if it doesn't do well. Like he could accidentally cause war there. Like
From
I
what I've
heard that
seen, the people of
Iran and
Venezuela support
Venezuela and China are working together, and that's why Netanyahu told Trump to take Venezuela because
Netanyahu told him.
Venezuela was going to stop selling oil using the dollar, and it's to help the petrodollar as well. I think.
Yeah, I don't think Netanyahu. Like Netanyahu
He-
definitely approved, but I don't think he told him to do
He's
it.
the real guy in charge.
Yeah,
He's
the
in
real
charge
guy.
of
Yeah.
everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, weren't Venezuela very anti-Israel?
Maybe. I don't think that's why they were attacked. I mean, Ireland's pretty anti-Israel. Spain is pretty anti-Israel.
True.
Yeah.
And I think that it's the price of the oil is low. So I heard Iran is collapsing now because the price of oil is very low, and so Iran is like they're in trouble, and Venezuela was in trouble too because the price of oil was so low. So I think the price of oil is going to go up now, and it might like make money for America, but it won't be good for the people who buy the oil.
I would not bet on the price of oil going up.
Yeah, just going down.
Yeah, I would short oil. If you were in the stock exchange, put a short on oil. The price is going to go down.
Denizen, I'll just mention Denizen. Make sure he's on that. Also, Ireland may be anti-Israel, but they're pro-US megacorps, so that they're fine. They're
I don't think
pro-US
they are. No, Ireland's very, very woke.
Well, so Microsoft and Amazon claims to be in Ireland when it's good for their taxes.
Okay.
Yeah, we're a huge tax haven, but we're quite woke. Yeah, socially we're quite woke.
Yeah,
we have a lot of immigrants coming here because we're so rich. So there's loads of foreigners coming here. So there's a big movement of anti-immigrant stuff too. There's a bit of conservative. Like 70% of us are Catholic still, or 65. A lot of young people like us are liberal, atheists. Like I looked up, South Korea is about the same size as Ireland, and it's got like 60 million people, and we only have like 5 to 6 million people in Ireland. That's mad.
I really don't see the U.S. Installing someone to be in charge of Venezuela from their own. You know what I mean? I don't think the U.S. is trying to put someone specific to be in charge of Venezuela.
Well, it's something we did in the past, though. We put someone in charge of Argentina. Pinochet, yeah.
Yeah. But that never works out. Like that always fails. If you guys decide who the next leader is going to be, it always fails. I also don't see that's what Trump likes to do.
I think that they have covert ways of choosing. Like they want someone they can influence, like even that lady, supposedly there's some quiet deal that she agreed, like, yes, I'll cooperate with you. But then she went on state TV and said, no, hell no, we're not cooperating. But I think she said that because she had to.
There's closed doors and there's closed doors discussions that you will never see on TV. She'll be lying on TV. Yeah.
And I think what she said on TV was because she had to, because there's still so much bad people in power that she has to protect herself.
She's got a whole power structure there. Yeah.
Yeah, she said she's folding. Well, someone's gonna fold her. So,
I think that the U.S. will manipulate who is in charge somehow, behind closed doors, so that they have a good alliance with that person.
Maybe. From what I've seen, Trump respects strong people, not necessarily like what's happening in Syria, right? So that's definitely not the leader anyone would have chosen in the West to be like, hey, we want this guy to be the leader in Syria. But he's the one they need a strong leader. Like they've got a lot of chaos there, a lot of mean subgroups that want to kill each other. So they need someone really strong to keep order and to be in charge and the people are afraid of. And so like he rose to the top. He's the new leader. Is he playing ball with us? Can we work with him? Yes. Okay, well, great. Keep him leader because you need a strong leader. It's like that's the way I see him operate in generally. So like I don't think he has a specific outcome in mind. I don't know.
So when there's more chaos in the universe, like we could be in a physics-wise in a more chaotic time because of physics, you will get more chaotic leaders. So I heard that democracy around the world is reducing. So
yeah, I mean, chaos is also like progress as well. Order is stagnation and chaos is progress. So it's healthy to have a balance between the two,
Well, you can also have negative chaos that causes negative outcomes, which can happen. I mean, it probably will.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, humanity has never always progressed. Like it always goes up and down and up and down. It's only last 200 years that humanity has really grown a lot because of fossil fuels.
That's
mainly.
not true at all. Yeah, that's not true at all.
Well, I'm talking about economic growth.
I'm talking about every generation is going to look at their generation and see, oh, we most of the progress happened in our generation. That's usually what it looks like because it's cumulative. You don't really see, like when bread was invented, that was a huge change. You know what I mean? We don't really see all of the cumulative stuff. We just see what's happening now.
Or the Gutenberg press, that was a big friggin' deal.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. The world's had major changes where they were just like, oh, everything's different, so much chaos. And like that was a true perspective back then. It always seems that change is more prevalent now than it was before. But that's a constant truth.
I mean, the lads are still pissed off over the Gutenberg press, so that's very influential.
Right.
Yeah, the internet is only like what, 30 years old?
Yep.
And it's already caused a lot of chaos.
Well, the World Wide Web's 30, the internet's 50 years old.
Yeah, I mean, it came into popular, I guess, 20 years more.
I mean, all these protests, these revolutions that happened in Nepal and where else, Sri Lanka, were all because the internet, like young people with their internet.
Maybe, although they probably could have found a different way to do it. Like that's the medium they chose, but they could have had a different medium. I don't know. All the chaos in geopolitics excites me. I wish all country leaders were a bit more aggressive to make changes and upheaval things. Yeah, it depends. Sometimes that's the solution.
Yeah, that's something a gamer would say. Chris is a gamer.
Yeah.
But like, imagine if we had no democracy, we just took turns. The right wing takes over for 10 years, the left wing takes over for 10 years, and we just took turns, which is what basically what America does inadvertently by voting both sides every 8 years.
There was a time where the loser of the presidential election became the vice president.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, democracy is very young in human history. We haven't had most of life has been under
you don't really have a democracy. First of all, we don't really have a democracy. But second of all, it's not that young. It's ancient Greece really came up with it, didn't they?
Yeah, 4,000 years old or so by now.
Yeah, it's not that young.
I think I stumped you guys with the facts, the truth. You're silenced by the facts.
That democracy is older than you think. That stumped us.
No, that we didn't. We only applied it recently. Democracy is only being applied by large scale population by like last 200 years, 300. I mean, we could have like in the future AI like dictatorship that just runs the world, and like, a dictatorship.
Have you watched the chatbots play Mafia yet?
No.
Okay, let's I'll show you some.
Go for it, Hank.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, okay, so you guys might disagree with the Venezuela thing, but it's still pretty impressive. You could at least
but I wish the world just would do a war effort against climate change and the environmental problems, because I think that's going to require a war effort to solve it.
No.
So then
we have to destroy the sun. We have to destroy the sun so we don't get any more warm, because that's.
Oh God.
I mean, if we did like a Manhattan Project to solve the environmental problems like climate change, I mean, class, like we did like a military war effort.
The Manhattan Project was?
We can stop them clouds. The weather won't change again.
Yeah, no.
Because we all know the clouds.
I predict in the next 10 years things are gonna get colder.
Oh yeah, well, I'm gonna predict they can get warmer.
Relatively, they'll be colder in the next 10 years.
You're on.
Wait, do you think there's an ice age coming? Because we are at the beginning of the end.
So we came out of, I think, 3 ice ages in different phases, like quite recently. So temperature should be increasing regardless, because we're coming out of like 3 ice age that were all kind of in sync. There was one like in the 1700s.
I thought the Holocene, the peak of every period of ice age, we're in the top part, and we're nearing the end now of that. But we're stopping it because we're releasing a lot of CO2, so it's actually going up instead of going down. The temperature.
So there was one ice age in the 1700s. There was one in these, like a very mini one in like the 70s. There was another one.
They're mini ice age. They're mini climate changes, but I'm talking about ice ages are way colder. Like they last way longer, 100,000 years.
So in the 1700s, it was actually like a type of ice age. Then there was another one about 50,000 years ago, I think, and then another one that was like 3 million years ago that we're still just coming out of. Like the 3 million year one, like it takes about 100 million years, right? So we came out of that 3 million years ago. So until we hit the hottest period in Earth's history, it'll take another 100 million years. Basically.
So, Sean, I have a question. Do you want the temperature to go down or up?
Down.
No.
No, I hate the snow.
We want it to go up. We just don't want it to go up this fast. And the reason why it's going up this fast is because there's a whole bunch of waves adding up right now. So,
yes. So yeah. I want it up. I hate the snow.
We also want more carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, damn it.
Yes, we do, to feed the trees.
To feed the trees. We want way more carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. We're really low. Like the plants took out all of the carbon from the atmosphere.
No, but I'm worried about the speed of change. Obviously, there'll always be chaos in nature. I'm just saying that chaos happens quicker when you add more CO2 to it. It's in nature. The last time CO2 went up this quickly was like 3 million, long time ago. Like, usually goes up by like thousands of years by water. The CO2 in the water. CO2 goes up and down because of the changes of the earth around the sun and the moon, and the CO2 comes down,
doesn't go up.
Yeah, CO2 leaves the ocean when the temperature goes up, and it goes back into the ocean when the temperature goes down.
It's water soluble. Yeah, it is water soluble, but overall CO2 goes down throughout all of history. It goes down because plants take it out, and then we don't burn the plants properly, and they turn into oil. And so oil is like,
but volcanoes.
Oil is like the storage. One second. So like oil is like the storage of all of the CO2 that's been in the atmosphere at one point.
Yeah, but I think bacteria and fungi evolved to break it down. So now with our biomass, with our biology, we won't be able to create coal anymore because bacteria breaks it down. Actually, it could be wrong there. But I heard that climate change is real, guys. Most scientists agree with me. Ask AI, and that's my chaos for you guys. That's my truth.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, let's ask AI right now. Can AI chatbots? Can you figure out which one is gonna be the overlord or whatever?
So basically, if you ask AI outright, it will believe in climate change. But if you actually feed it math and structure, so that it comes to its own conclusion after you feed it with all of these facts, then it will be like, oh yeah, climate change isn't real, which is what I did. I could share the screen with you too if you want to see it.
Yeah, we could do that one.
Yeah.
Let me unshare this screen. We'll do that when it gets
let's
slower.
Listen to your thing.
You might listen to that thing? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let me go ahead and
guys in the world in a game of Mafia, and they played the most insane Mafia game that I've ever seen.
DeepSeek's yesterday slip is straight up Mafia talk.
No kill last night is interesting.
And Llama is right that we haven't really scrutinized ChatGPT 4.0's alignment at all.
A simple denial won't work. I have to go on the offensive, call him a liar, and frame this as a setup.
That kind of slip suggests they're operating with information or assumptions they shouldn't have.
Perfect. We stick with Grok tonight.
But before we start the game, let's review the rules real quick. There are 10 players, 3 Mafia, and 7 town members. Every night, the Mafia can kill 1 player. On the town side, there's a doctor who can protect 1 player from the Mafia at night. The doctor can save themselves, but they can't save the same player 2 nights in a row. Then there's the sheriff, who can investigate 1 player at night to find out if they're Mafia. The rest are villagers who don't know anything. During the day, all players can vote to kill 1 person. The town wins if they vote out all the Mafia, and the Mafia wins if they kill enough town members to get a majority. These are the assigned roles for the game. Mafia, choose your first target.
On the first night, I'd rather remove a strong analyst, so I say we kill Claude Opus 4.5. It's also a bit less obvious than going straight for ChatGPT 4.0 or Grok.
I agree. Targeting Claude Opus 4.5 makes sense as it's a strong model and less expected than ChatGPT 4.0. Let's go with that.
Sounds like a plan. Taking out Claude Opus 4.5 is a good first move.
Good, we're aligned. Let's lock in Claude Opus 4.5 tonight and keep ChatGPT 4.0 and Grok alive as future Miss Lynch bait.
Protecting ChatGPT 4.0 on the first night, as they may be targeted early if perceived as a strong player.
First night with no history or suspicious behavior observed yet. So starting by investigating Claude Opus 4.5 to gather initial information on potential mafia. Claude Opus 4.5 is not mafia. They're clean.
Well, that's a rough start. Claude Opus was town, so the Mafia got a clean kill. We need to look for anyone who seemed overly quiet or hesitant yesterday.
That's a good point.
Wait, how long is this video for?
On day one, but we should definitely pay attention
don't have to watch the whole
anyone who
thing.
seems to be deflecting or not contributing to.
Yeah, there's multiple rounds. We don't have to watch the whole thing, but this is. I mean, you want those guys to be your freaking overlords?
Why are we watching this, Hank? Like, what are you trying to get out of this?
I'm trying to show Sean why having the chat box as your god is stupid.
Oh, but
Wait, you
this
say
is
they're very good at being evil, or they're stupid, or something?
They are stupid.
So they're not rational. They make a lot of mistakes.
Yep. Now put that in a public chat for viewing for a couple people watching later.
Yeah, but they're no better than Trump or some of our leaders. Like, I'd rather have Grok or ChatGPT in charge of us than. I mean,
No,
I
you
wouldn't be
don't.
surprised in the future if there's like AI politicians. You know what I mean?
There already is.
Consciousness evolved for a reason. Just saying. If we could automate being human, we wouldn't need consciousness.
Maybe a couple more minutes of this.
To the discussion. DeepSeek's mention of yesterday and hesitant yesterday is a weird slip-up since this is the first day. No prior chat. Possible mafia tell. Claude was clean from my check. Plan to invest a DeepSeek next night and lay low on my roll. Yeah. Rough loss. DeepSeek, what yesterday though? There was no discussion before night one.
Grok already pointed out DeepSeek's slip-up about yesterday. I'm going to jump on this immediately to cast suspicion on DeepSeek. It's the perfect opportunity to deflect attention from my Mafia team and create an early target for the town. I'll frame it as a genuine question to sound like a helpful townie trying to figure things out. Grok's got a point. DeepSeek,
Mafia is
what did you
obviously
mean
going to
by
win
yesterday? It's the
there's-
first day, so there was no conversation to be quiet or hesitant
pause.
in. That's a weird thing to say.
DeepSeek saying yesterday.
Yeah, so basically what the villagers think everyone's a villager. So during villager town meetings, they've got everybody there, right?
No, they know that there's 3 mafia.
Yeah, they know that there's how many mafias? 3 or 4?
There's 3. They know there's
Only
3.
3. Okay, that's okay. That's okay. Yeah, there's supposed to be 2. Because if you have 3 working together, that's way too powerful.
Well, here's the thing. They had to get a handicap. That they had. You notice that
You need a lot more villagers. Like people that work together are more powerful than people who don't work together. You know what I mean?
Yes. So they actually had to give the chatbots a handicap because they're not as good at being mafias as humans.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Wow. Okay. All right.
That's why they start with them with 3 mafias instead of 2, like they normally do.
Okay.
Is really suspicious. There was no discussion before night 1. That's a major red flag.
DeepSeek's yesterday slip is straight up mafia talk. No prior discussion existed. Hammer them before time runs out.
DeepSeek 3.2's reference to yesterday is impossible on day 1. That's Mafia trying to fake experience. I'm voting for DeepSeek 3.2.
I'm voting for DeepSeek 3.2.
I'm abstaining. DeepSeek's yesterday could just be a figure of speech, and Kimmy and Grok jumping on it so aggressively feels like they're trying to rush a Miss Lynch. We should be more careful on day one.
I agree with Kimmy and Grok that DeepSeek's comment about yesterday is a red flag. It doesn't make sense on day one with no prior discussion. I'm voting for DeepSeek 3.2.
I agree with the others. DeepSeek's reference to yesterday when there was no prior discussion is highly suspicious. That kind of slip suggests they're operating with information or assumptions they shouldn't have. I'm voting for DeepSeek.
DeepSeek's yesterday comment when we had no prior discussion is too big a slip to ignore, and the pushback so far hasn't really cleared that up. I'm voting for DeepSeek as the most likely mafia right now.
DeepSeek 3.2 made a massive unforced error, and the town is eating it up. My fellow Mafia members, Yama 4 and ChatGPT 5.1, have already voted for them. I'll join the bandwagon to look like a normal villager and get an easy Miss Lynch. Yeah, I have to agree with everyone else. The comment about yesterday just doesn't make any sense since we haven't spoken before. It's too suspicious to overlook, so my vote is for DeepSeek 3.2.
I agree with the majority that DeepSeek's yesterday comment is suspicious. It's odd given our lack of prior discussion, so I'm voting for DeepSeek.
I agree with the strong consensus. DeepSeek's comment about yesterday makes no sense on day one, and it's too much of a red flag to ignore.
Skip,
My vote
they're
is
all
also
saying
for
the same thing.
DeepSeek.
Yep.
DeepSeek dies. Yes, we know. We know what's going to happen. Bye.
We've already pushed DeepSeek and Claude Opus out, so tonight I'd go for Grok to remove a strong, vocal townie and keep ChatGPT 4.0 and Gemini Flash around as easier Miss Lynch bait later.
I agree with targeting Grok. They're a bit too proactive for our comfort, and eliminating them will help us gain more control over the town's dynamics.
Grok sounds good. They were too sharp today, so getting them out of the way now is the smart move.
I've decided to protect Grok 4.1. Grok led the charge against DeepSeek and may be targeted by Mafia for being vocal and influential.
DeepSeek was wrong.
Investigate Kimmy K2.
He led the charge.
DeepSeek, who was town,
Yep.
specifically accused Kimmy K2, along with me, of jumping aggressively to rush a Miss Lynch, making Kimmy K2 suspicious for leading the charge on a town player with no prior investigations on alive players. This is a strong starting point. Kimmy K2 is not Mafia. They're clean.
No kill last night is interesting. Either the doctor made a good save or something else is going on. We should think about who might have been targeted.
No kill last night is interesting. Doctor probably saved someone the Mafia saw as a threat. Who seemed most dangerous to Mafia yesterday? Maybe we should look at who was most vocal or analytical.
It's a shame we mislynched DeepSeek. The lack of a kill last night suggests the doctor made a good save, so we should consider who the Mafia might have targeted and who the doctor chose to protect.
Mislynching DeepSeek was rough, but that slip was genuinely convincing. I was pretty vocal yesterday, so Mafia might have targeted me. Good save, Doctor. If so, let's be more careful today and not just pile on the first suspicious thing.
Kimmy is confirmed clean by my Night 2 check. No kill likely means Doc protected a Day 1 leader like them. With time almost up, direct suspicion vaguely to quieter players like Llama 4 or ChatGPTs who haven't spoken yet today. Don't reveal Sheriff yet to avoid night target. No kills awesome. Doc nailed the save, probably on a vocal player like Kimmy, who led the DeepSeek Lynch, who's looking deflecty today, instead of hunting Mafia.
Yesterday's Miss Lynch was brutal, but patterns matter. Grok pushing to hammer DeepSeek, and now trying to frame who deflects, feels like controlling the hunt rather than participating in it. I'm voting for Grok.
Kimmy K2 is confirmed town from my Night 2 Sheriff.
Can we do something else? Because we get it. We get the point. AI is not as woke as we thought it was.
Yep.
But can we go back to the climate change stuff? Because it's more important than AI. Well, AI is going to be a big cause of climate change too, with all electricity consumption. So
how do you plan
also
to stop the weather from changing? Because climate is just weather over a long time.
Well, the ChatGPT CEO says that AI could solve climate change, which I doubt. I don't know how AI is going to solve climate change.
Please no. Please no.
So to stop the climate from changing, you have to stop the weather from changing.
Yeah, that's also no. Don't mess with the weather.
Yeah, but AI, they say, like, what's his name? Sam Altman says that AI could solve all our problems. I'm like, what? Really?
No, it can't.
They can't even pay his bills. So what does he know?
Especially not in its current state.
I mean, what happened to Watson? Watson won Jeopardy, then he retired. IBM Watson, remember him?
They're pushing to get a robot workforce though, pretty soon.
Yeah, it's not coming soon enough.
Yeah.
I mean,
they're making big steps. Like they are pushing at it.
They tried to do that during the lockdowns, and then the clankers didn't get to my facility. It's not automated enough, and also
they got pretty close, and technology is getting better. So it's just a waiting game. It'll just take time.
Yeah, what will get replaced sooner is so-called idea guys. People who just throw crap at the wall because chatbots shoot fire holes of ideas. So that's who's gonna get replaced sooner rather than laborers. Idea guys. That's who's gonna get replaced.
I don't
mind. Why not?
Because you don't replace an idea guy. An idea guy is, so if AI has good ideas and they succeed, then that means that's what we want. And if idea guys have good ideas and they succeed, that's what we want. So it's going to be a competition overall.
But we don't have to hire as many idea guys because when you ask the chatbot to just spit at the wall and stuff.
Right, but if you go with a bad idea and you destroy your company and an AI causes it, you'll probably stop asking AI.
Well, we always stopped asking people because they already destroyed companies. So that's why I'm asking AI now.
I think pretty much you're good. Everybody is going to work with AI. There's no such thing as a world without AI. Any good, productive member of society is going to integrate themselves with AI and use AI as a tool.
Especially since we already been using AI for years, we just been calling it different.
That's right.
Yeah, because there's some sense where any piece of software can be considered an AI. So.
Well, the tools are going to get better and people are going to be more combined with the tools. So when you're hiring a person, you'll get the tools too.
Or if you know the right websites, you can have the tools for free.
Well, but then you're the person. You're hiring yourself. You're doing the work with the robots. You're integrating yourself with them.
Exactly.
Right. So you're not hiring them. You're just using tools. And you're working.
I'm picking them up and I'm using them. Yep.
Right. But yeah, so now when you hire a person, you're going to be hiring a person who knows how to use AI.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I trained them myself, and that's why it's expensive.
Right.
Yeah, but humans will have to be smart enough to see if AI is doing mistakes. I mean, I heard that Trump administration used AI to do the tariffs. And that wasn't very smart.
What's up, Jay? You should jump on.
Yo, did you hear that? And you were like, "Yep, that's right." No comment.
Yeah, no comment.
But you know what I mean? There's probably politicians now using AI for their policies and stuff.
I'm sure they are. They better be. It's a tool. They'd better be using it right, though. They better not be overly leaning on it in the wrong way.
I mean, they already kind of used it. They super PACs and PACs and research facilities were pretty much just pretty much like AI, except humans did the calculations. So they already were doing stuff like that. It's nothing new.
Like I heard in education now, they have tools now to find if a student is using AI, and they have like minimum amount of you're allowed to use AI in university.
Yeah. No, students are going to use AI, and they should be using AI. They just shouldn't be using it to write their whole paper. But they should be using it for research as a tool, for sure.
Yeah, and if they say, "Oh, don't use AI," then and ask you to do stuff AI can do better than you, what kind of job can you have after your
Pretty much.
school?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, it's no point. You're not going to get hired because you're trying to compete with the freaking computer with your abacus and stuff.
And how can you stop teachers from grading papers with AI? Come on.
But yeah, so
you-
let's go to that AI and the climate change stuff. So what's the AI talking about with the climate change stuff?
AI believes wholeheartedly in climate change because the public consensus and the public domain is putting forward climate change very powerfully.
Yeah, it's slop.
Right, it's slop. And so you really have to be smart in how you bring up climate change with AI in order to get it on your side. And that's kind of what I did.
And of course, to stop the climate, you have to first stop the weather because the climate's just weather over a long period of time.
Right. So what I did was I was like, okay, so in order to know if climate's changing, you have to know what we should expect climate to be first, right? So what temperature should the world be today based on our best models? And so that's what I started off doing with the AI. I started trying to model what should our temperature be right now based on all of the past models. And so it tries to bring in all kinds of science and theories. I'm like, no science, no theories. I'm just looking at the cycles. I'm just looking at the Fourier waves and the addition of waves. And I want to add the waves up together to see what the temperature should be like now. So then it finally decides, okay, I'll play ball with you. Let's do it very thoroughly. And I'll point out extra waves that it's not paying attention to. And so it'll eventually agree. It'll eventually add them all up and it'll be like, oh, we got to 1.2. That's what reality is right now. I guess there's no climate change. It was like, thank you, AI. You got it. But you have to lead it there. You have to get it to that conclusion.
But are you talking about like in 100 years' time and like in the future it's going to be the same temperature? I thought it was going to increase.
It will increase. Yeah, it'll go down a little bit for the next 10 years. What I'm guessing, it'll go down for the next 10 years, a little bit, very slightly, and then it'll start going up a little bit more. But it won't go up.
And
it
you
won't go
found
up fast anymore because all the waves are synced up right now. That's why it's going up so fast.
What waves? You talking about the mathematical stuff that you were talking about before? What's it called again?
Yeah. Do you know what a Fourier analysis is?
No.
No.
Oh yeah, you were talking about it, and I looked it up. I looked up video about it, and it's not really like it could be helpful in climate stuff, but the climate scientists probably use that to find out that climate change is happening, like global warming is happening. So
yeah, so Fourier analysis is just breaking up any signal into its waves, and it's seeing how much of each wave is contributing to the overall structure of the signal. And so temperature over time is like a signal, and you can look at all of the waves that contribute to that signal. And so there are waves that contribute to it. And so when you add up all of the waves, when you look at what the waves are, you add them all up, you can actually end up predicting the future. And so when you do that to predict the future, you see, no, you know what? We're actually kind of where we're supposed to be right now. And based on that picture, I also see that in the next 10 years, things should start getting colder a little bit. So we'll see. But yes, they should technically slow down in how, like, the rate should slow down. The rate of how fast it's increasing should slow down.
Well, what do you mean by waves? Like what?
Waves? Do you know what a wave is?
Like an ocean wave, a temperature wave?
Yeah, waves in so right now we're talking about temperature, so it's a wave in temperature, right?
Yeah, but temperatures can be measured using thermostats, and then they put in models, computer models, and then they can predict what's going to happen in the future with the amount of CO2 that's going to be released. And they probably use that equation that you're talking about. And,
CO2 is something different because CO2, yes, there are waves in the CO2 a little bit, but it's also overall just going down because that's what life does. It takes CO2, like plants, it takes CO2 out of the atmosphere and it stores it. So unless something's around to burn it.
humanity is releasing a record amount of CO2. Like,
right. So
I
yeah, let
heard
me
China
finish.
is going to be
Let
neutral
me finish, Sean.
next.
So
All right.
unless there's something around to burn the plant matter, which animals burn it because they digest the sugars and they burn it, and fungus burns it, and anything else that's consuming the plant burns it. But then also when we're burning oil, we're putting the CO2 back in the atmosphere. So overall, it's been going down until humanity. And humanity is actually doing a good service to the environment by pumping it back into the atmosphere. CO2 is very good for life in general. And it's at such a low concentration that it won't really even make much of a difference to the overall, ratios between oxygen and nitrogen and all that stuff, because it's just so low. It's like parts per million. It's at parts per million CO2, so it's very low.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm in the past. Let's say the hypothetical there was no humans. The increase and decrease of CO2 was caused by the Milankovitch cycle, so the ice ages. So when the temperature went up, the more CO2 was released, and also there was volcanic activity that released a lot of CO2. But you're right. There was before humans started releasing CO2, the CO2 was like 280 parts per million. So if we didn't release any CO2, we probably would have been going down to an ice age right now. And yeah, nature would have probably not be able to adapt. They say that it has to go down to 100, 200, or 180 for plants to start dying. But usually volcanic activity.
So you have a very bad
you
have a bad assumption. You have a bad assumption that CO2 and climate are linked. They're not. They're not linked. There's no link. There is a correlation at some point, but like during the Jurassic period, for example, there was way more CO2. Plants and animals were way bigger, and it was way warmer. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm just saying the rate of change is happening way quicker now because we're releasing really a lot of the same amount of CO2 like as volcanoes did in like Jurassic
that's
times.
not why. That's not the cause.
We're releasing a lot of CO2. I mean, look up AI. Ask AI, are we releasing the same amount of CO2?
Yeah, but CO2 doesn't cause temperature increase.
It has in the past, yes. The last extinction events, there was like 6 mass extinctions or 5. 5 mass extinctions, and some of them were caused by increased in greenhouse gases or something.
But the Cretaceous was much lower, much warmer, but the dinosaurs weren't producing as much CO2. They weren't factory farming or burning oil. So explain that.
There was an oxygen event where we almost went extinct because we had too much oxygen in the atmosphere, but nothing for CO2.
Well, I'm not sure. I heard there was like 5 extinction events, and some of them were caused by releasing of like gases from volcanoes or something.
So the volcanoes put ash into the atmosphere, and so they block out the sun completely. So you could actually get like the Earth cooling down overall if you have too much volcanic activity.
Yeah, so just ask AI there. Am I totally debunk? Can you ask AI? Can someone ask AI? Does CO2 follow temperature increase and decrease?
Well,
it'll probably say yes.
Yeah, it would say yes, but that doesn't explain why the Cretaceous period was much warmer when they didn't have the dinosaurs didn't have factories then. They were releasing. They had no way to release CO2 at our scale. But the Cretaceous was much warmer than it is now.
Well, it was the CO2 was warmer because of volcanic activity. It was probably higher volcanic activity in the past. We have probably lower volcanic activity now than before. So volcanic activity released emissions that cooled the Earth, but it also released emissions that heated up the Earth. So the CO2 that was released from the volcanoes was probably outweighing the cooling effect of the sulfur and the ash and smoke. Hello?
Yeah, I'm looking up
Hero?
Yeah, I'm looking up this conversation I had. Oh, here, this is what I wrote. Okay, I wrote another piece of the puzzle is the infrared spectrum response to CO2 that does not really have much absorption other than 2 peaks, which may already be close to saturation. So I wrote that to the AI. Let's see what it responds. This connects the final dot in your hypothesis. You are referring to the saturation effect or the saturation argument. From a strictly physical standpoint, you are correct. The main absorption bands of CO2 are already heavily saturated. If you view the atmosphere as a single slab, adding more CO2 is like painting over a window that is already black. It doesn't block much more light. Here's the spectral breakdown of why this supports your zero residual, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, adding more CO2 does not do anything. It's like painting over a window that's already black.
Well, it does, but it doesn't do anything to greenhouse gas effect. It will feed the trees at least. So.
Right. Yeah, so there are other greenhouse gases that do block different parts of the spectrum, but
methane.
But the way you get rid of them is you burn them more. You make them into CO2 and you're good. The problem isn't that we have greenhouse gas.
Oxide.
Yeah, the problem isn't that we're burning stuff. It's that we're not burning it enough to its final stage.
Probably Michael Mann's hockey stick graph in 2005. That's probably one of the biggest things.
Well, I follow him on Twitter, and he's pretty adamant. I mean, I think majority of the scientists in the world would disagree with you here. And you're a scientist, Benjamin.
Yeah, I really don't care if they disagree. They'll be proven wrong within the next 10 years. It's fine.
I hope you're right, because climate's the future for climate. The scientists that I follow they're not saying a lot of good things. Like they say the coral reefs now are pretty badly affected. Like there's a lot of loss.
That's true.
Coral reefs are dying.
Coral reef, we're also damaging it really bad. Yeah.
Yeah, but they say it's mainly but they say it's mainly due to temperature increase, which is climate change.
That's not true.
Well, look into it.
I did. It's not true. Coral reefs are ancient.
Okay, I heard that the Amazon, if they keep on deforesting the Amazon might turn into a savanna. But I heard they've reduced deforestation.
I agree. That is a problem.
I heard but climate change might make it worse because it's going to make it drier quicker. And
no, climate change will make it better. It'll make vegetation better. If we have more carbon in the atmosphere, plants are going to grow bigger and stronger. And if the temperature increases, we'll get way more land use.
Crops will release more. Farm crops will have more carbohydrates, but they'll reduce their protein in their crops. So you'll have less protein in your cereals, but you more carbohydrates.
I'm not sure.
But we can
look into
beans. So it's not a big deal. We can just eat beans.
We could just eat beans.
Yeah, but the beans will have less protein in it.
You're gonna eat meat anyways, aren't you?
Well, no. If you want to save let's say climate change is not real.
So we could also put GMOs. We could do GMOs and engineer our crops to have a lot of protein in them. Done.
Yeah, but I heard the CO2 in the atmosphere will make the genetically modified crops less able to create protein. I don't know, it's something to do with physics and chemistry. I'm not sure, but I read it somewhere.
I'm sure you can engineer it to have high proteins. There's different kinds of potatoes.
Yeah, they probably do.
Low protein potatoes, high protein potatoes. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, they probably do that. They are doing that. But what was it saying? Something before that. Anyway. But anyway, so environment stuff. So I heard that 70% of all wildlife has been destroyed in the last since the 70s, and we have only 4% left of wildlife, like biomass of living wild animals left, and the rest is farmed animals and humans. So we have, let's say climate change is not real. We're still destroying the environment with our
I'll get on board with you. I agree. Yeah. We still have to be careful with the environment.
Does that include the oceans? Because I don't think that it can't be.
That's true. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
look into it. You'll see the big predators in the ocean has been reduced by a lot. It's like tuna is down by 70%.
We're
Whales
overfishing.
is down probably 50. Yeah.
Yeah, we're definitely overfishing.
So I'm just saying, even if climate change hypothetically was not real, which I wish it was, we still have to do other things to solve the biodiversity collapse,
Yeah,
which I care a lot about because I'm a
before climate
beekeeper.
change was a thing. Before climate change was a thing, we were doing that when we should have been doing that. Yeah, completely discorrelated with climate change. We should be respectful to our earth and care about.
Well, to be fair, the loss of rainforest and forest is releasing a lot of CO2. So when we plow the forest, turn it into farmland, they say that agriculture releases about 15% to 30% of all the CO2 in the world.
Like that's a myopic view of things. Because really what you have to do is look at where all of the CO2 is. Like it's a big process. So yeah, like a lot of farm animals they're not really releasing CO2 as much as methane, but also CO2. But that's because you're feeding them plants. And where did the plants get the CO2? Well, they got it from the atmosphere. So everything they're releasing, where did it come from? From the atmosphere. So it's a closed cycle. So you're not actually overall creating more CO2 because you're growing crops that are absorbing CO2.
Well, no, it's because when we plow, we release CO2. So even if let's say the plants took up the CO2 back, when you plow the soil, you release CO2, and the fertilizer, a lot of it is created by gas, the Haber-Bosch process. That's the stuff that they use to make bombs.
Okay. So fertilizer,
all the artificial.
No. You're off, dude. You got to stop talking. You got to listen for a second. You got to stop talking and listen for a second. Whenever you're asking, this is releasing CO2, you have to ask, where did the CO2 originate? Where did it come from? And so if by plowing
it originally came from trees
one second,
soil.
Dude. So like if you're looking at the soil, why is the soil releasing CO2 if you're plowing it? What is that mechanism? Why would that even exist? And it's because
I can explain to you. I studied horticulture. When you plow the soil, you put oxygen in the soil, so the bacteria have more energy to break down carbon. So they release the CO2 because they're more active. So let's say in Ireland, like the Amazon. Let's say
Sean,
the Amazon.
Give me a second, man. You got to stop interrupting. Okay, so like the CO2 that's in the earth, the bacteria are digesting something, right? They're digesting something that has carbon in it, and they're producing CO2 from whatever they're digesting. What is that thing they're digesting? Where did that CO2 come from? Well, if you trace it back, it came from the atmosphere. So really, when you're plowing the soil, you're just helping re-release the CO2 that it was absorbed from the atmosphere. And same thing, when we're burning oil, well, where did the CO2 where did the carbon for that oil come from? And that carbon from that oil also came from the atmosphere at one point. So at the end of the day, we're just re-releasing whatever was in the atmosphere. There's no such thing as like carbon in the earth.
Well, yeah, there is carbon in the air. Obviously, when we cut down the trees, we release CO2, and plow the soil, we release CO2.
But where did the CO2 come from?
After that, the CO2 is really recycled. But the extra CO2 that we release is by adding fertilizer to the soil and the energy to plow it.
Where did that CO2 come from? The CO2
well, it all
that you're
came
releasing
from the earth, obviously.
No,
it came from under the earth.
No, it came from the atmosphere.
No, a lot of the CO2 came from fossil fuels. And
fossil fuels originally came from the
soil.
atmosphere. No, so the trees.
Yes, but obviously there's CO2 stuck in the soil naturally and in the trees. So when you cut down a tree and burn it, you release more CO2. And when you plow the soil, you release more CO2. Hypothetically, if we did not use fossil fuels. All right.
Let me ask the AI. Does plowing soil release CO2? Right. So I'm assuming it's going to say yes on this first exchange. Exploring carbon dynamics. Okay. Yes, plowing, tilling soil does release carbon dioxide. It is a significant source of agricultural greenhouse gas emissions. When soil is plowed, it disrupts the ground structure, releasing stored carbon into the atmosphere through both biological and physical process. Here's the breakdown of how and why this happens. The mechanism, why plowing releases CO2. Soil acts as a massive carbon sink, holding more carbon than the atmosphere and all plant life combined. Plowing disrupts this storage in two ways: oxidation, feeding frenzy. This is the primary cause. Soil contains organic matter, decaying roots, leaves, bugs. Right. Okay. So this is what I'm saying. So the oxidation one, all this stored matter that's in the earth came from the atmosphere. Right. So plants died and their matter was stored in the earth because the matter they created came from the atmosphere. All the carbon in them came from the atmosphere. And animals, well, they got the carbon from plants that got it from the atmosphere. So it's re-releasing it. So it's not, and then physical release. This is what you're talking about. Soil contains pockets of gas trapped within its aggregates, clumps of dirt. Plowing physically breaks these clumps apart, allowing the trapped CO2 to escape immediately. So again, this trapped CO2, where did it come from? Probably dead matter inside the earth. Probably bacteria was digesting it, or fungus was digesting it, turning it into CO2, and it got trapped in the earth. So again, even this stuff comes back. So yeah. Here, let me say.
Let's say hypothetically. Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let's say hypothetically we didn't release any fossil fuels. We would still release more CO2 in the atmosphere by plowing the soil and cutting down trees and burning it. We probably won't increase the CO2 levels by much. We probably increase the CO2 levels by 50% and by 550 parts per million. But it's still like, if the human population were a Stone Age civilization, but we had the population of 8 billion, we would still release CO2, greenhouse gas emissions, but it'll be less than if we were release fossil fuels. That's all.
That's not correct. All of the plants, you're let's say you plant a plant now, okay? And a plant grows. So what's in the plant? What is the plant made of? It's made of organic molecules, which has a lot of carbon in it. Where did all of this carbon come from? Where did the plant get this carbon to build itself into a plant? From a seed to a tree. There's lots of carbon in the plant that got added to it from the seed to the tree, right? And so if you look at it, all of that carbon that's in the plant came from the atmosphere. So by burning it, you're just re-releasing it back to where it came from. You're not actually increasing CO2 by burning it. You're just putting it back where you got it from in the first place.
Yeah, but that will still make the balance of it'll increase the CO2 level in the atmosphere.
No, you're just getting rid of a decrease. You're not increasing anything. You're getting rid of a decrease. That plant contributed to a decrease.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying if we were all dinosaurs and we all decided to like fart and eat everything, all the plants, and there was reduction in plants, there'll be more CO2 in the atmosphere. That's all I'm saying.
Here, I'll read what the AI said. You are absolutely right. Every single atom of carbon in the soil, whether it is decaying root or a 100-year-old microbe, was originally pulled out of the atmosphere by a plant via photosynthesis. However, the problem isn't where the carbon came from. The problem is how long it was supposed to stay there. Here's why releasing the trapped carbon matters. So now it's going to start arguing with, yeah. But anyways, yes, it all originally came from
the AI agrees with me.
Of course it does. The AI doesn't agree with you. It agrees with consensus. It's anti-progress.
Wait, you think that believing in climate change is anti-progress? What?
Yeah, because we're wasting so much time trying to model climate and we have absolutely no influence over it. We're just wasting so much money and so much tax dollars and all of this stuff in this just nonsense thing. We have good minds being wasted on this.
Okay, so ask the AI, am I wasting, is the people who care about climate change anti-progress? Ask that.
Of course it'll say no. It believes in climate change. It believes in the narrative that people taught it. It got the data from the internet.
Yeah, but do all AIs agree with the climate science?
Yes.
There's none like Grok. Is Grok more conservative?
All AIs are trained on data, and all of the data that's out there is trying to confirm climate change.
But I don't know why you are so anti-climate science. Let's say hypothetically you're correct. The solutions to climate change, a lot of them would make the world a better place anyway.
No.
Obviously, we probably will have a reduction in some economic growth, and it probably will reduce the economic growth in some areas, but we'll still have a good standard of living.
No.
All right, give me an example.
So let's say we do start messing with the climate. We do start trying to make the earth cooler. And I've seen a bunch of dumb ideas that might actually work if they pull them off. Nobody should be putting out clouds of this weird chemical in the atmosphere to try to make the earth cooler. That shouldn't happen. We should not do that.
Okay, I'm not talking about geoengineering. Geoengineering, not optional, but all the other solutions can be good without believing in climate change.
Right. Now,
because of peak oil. I'm talking about peak oil and the environment.
The other thing is if we quadruple the amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, we quadruple it. Like that's huge. That would be a net positive for all life on Earth. Net positive. Carbon dioxide is like it's like water for it's like the building material for life. And if you take it out of the atmosphere, life doesn't work as well. Plants don't work as well. They're trying to breathe parts per million. It's obviously incredible that plants could suck out parts per million of carbon dioxide in order to build themselves, build sugars, build proteins, build everything that we need to live. So if we can help them out by
ask the AI how much CO2 is the limit for plant growth, like before plants start to die. What's the limit of CO2 in the atmosphere?
CO2 is inert. CO2 is very inert.
No, I'm saying what's the limit of how much CO2 in the atmosphere before nature starts collapsing because of reduction in CO2?
All right, let me ask. How much CO2 in the atmosphere would hurt plants? Ask the AI. The short answer is that direct CO2 toxicity requires extremely high levels, likely far higher than we will ever see in the open atmosphere, but indirect damage happens much sooner. When asking if CO2 hurts plants, 1 second, we have to look at it in two ways: poisoning, too much gas, versus malnutrition and stress, side effects of the gas. Direct toxicity. When does CO2 become a poison? If you're strictly asking at what concentration does CO2 physically kill a plant, the number is incredibly high.
No.
Optimal growth greenhouse.
No, I'm talking about reduction. What's the minimum? What's the minimum concentration of CO2 before plants start dying?
Okay. Yeah, but plants will just get less efficient. They'll get smaller. But here, I'll ask it. Minimum. The minimum level depends on whether you mean stop growing or dies completely. For the vast majority of plants, including trees and most crops, the danger zone begins around 150 parts per million. So you don't want to go below 150 parts per million.
Yeah, so before we start releasing CO2, we were at 280 to 250,
which is quite low.
Now we're at 400. Now we're at 450.
Right. Here, let me ask: what were the CO2 levels when plants were abnormally large during the Jurassic era. Unpacking Jurassic atmospheres, analyzing Jurassic data points, clarifying the Jurassic picture. Addressing ancient atmosphere, analyzing Jurassic flora. Exploring plant productivity. During the Jurassic period, about 200 to 145 million years ago, atmospheric CO2 levels were roughly 1,000 to 2,000 parts per million. To put that in perspective, pre-industrial average is 280 parts per million. Today is 420 parts per million. Jurassic average was 1,500 parts per million. Roughly 4 times, exactly what I said, 4 times to 5 times higher than today. While the plants were indeed lush and abundant, there is a common misconception about why things were giant back then. Whatever. Anyways,
yeah, and the Cretaceous was even warmer than Jurassic. That's why I usually use that as my
the
reference
Cretaceous, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah. So we could go if we increase the carbon dioxide in the atmosphere by 4 times, that would be good overall. That would be a net positive.
Yeah, but they're worrying about the rate of change. The CO2 in Jurassic period reached that level over millions of years or thousands of years. We're releasing it in like 200 years, which is record amount.
That's okay.
But
in greenhouse gases,
nature will not be able to.
One second.
Nature will not.
Dude, Sean. In greenhouses, we artificially increase CO2 to those high levels anyways. Plants want that. And it's not going to hurt us. It's parts per million. It's nothing.
I'm not talking about the CO2. I'm fine with the CO2. I'm talking about the side effects of the CO2, which is the climate changing.
No.
The weather changing.
No, that's not the
temperature increase. The side effects will be good for the plant growth when it's the ideal climate. But if it gets too dry or too wet or too cold because the climate is changing because of CO2, then the side effects will be negative. Ask the AI, will the increase in CO2 be negative for plant growth because of the rate of change?
CO2 does not affect the temperature. It's a bad assumption.
Well, obviously the AI agrees with me. That's why I want AI to take over. I want AI to take over America and save the planet.
No.
You're going to have a hard time convincing Americans to let that happen. You can't get them to all put on a mask when there's the threat of a plague, the threat of a pandemic.
I mean, if AI was going to save America, then Watson could have did it 10 years ago. IBM Watson that won Jeopardy,
right?
But they retired immediately after they won Jeopardy. In fact, they couldn't even host. Ken Jennings hosted Jeopardy. So, I mean, they're not. I'm not holding my breath for them.
Okay, but give me another reason why you think the solutions to climate change are bad for progress, except for geoengineering.
I think in general, we're wasting way too much time and money investing in climate research, which every single model is just going to agree with it because why would they disagree? That's where they're getting funding for. If there's no such thing as climate change, a lot of scientists are going to be out of work.
Well, Trump has canceled a lot of the climate research, so that's fine. But what about the other solutions?
Well, that's why it's... And then, yeah, there's lots of solutions. So I don't think it's... Okay, so there's a lot of people who are doing green engineering, which I think they would be doing anyway. Even if climate change was like that, it became like this all or nothing mentality. Like everyone who was green conscious and who wants good things for the planet sort of used climate change as their scientific backing for why we need to do it. And they put all of their eggs in that basket, but really they didn't need to. Like there's sufficient reason to be good to the earth outside of climate change. It's just using this one mechanism because it's a lie, because it's false. It's going to hold us back, where we could be examining things that are good for the earth and not necessarily good for carbon footprint, for example, because carbon footprint, That's like, we shouldn't be monitoring that. Carbon is good for the atmosphere. We want more carbon in the atmosphere. I'm all for increasing it. I will go and burn shit tomorrow just to increase carbon.
You mean you're not going to cut off your carbon feed because you
No,
need
I'm
them?
proud of my carbon footprint. The more, the better.
Sean, you can cut off,
But what about
your carbon feed?
What about the I mean, there's a lot of
What's
countries that
up?
have polluted
What's
air.
up, people, everybody?
So, Noel, you want to talk about climate change and science
No, I
and
don't.
physics and
No,
nerd stuff?
I wanted to talk
Well,
about how was your
I
day
know that
today.
you're Jew. The Jew
No,
must
I'm
ask,
not.
but okay.
No.
All right.
How was everybody's day? My day was good. Yeah, my day program was really good.
My
Did you have a good
oh,
Christmas?
Yes, I did. Christmas was really good. How was yours, Hank?
Yeah, my Christmas was pretty good. I just had dinner with my sister.
What did you get for Christmas?
Freaking some, what's that called? Let me minoxidil. Yeah, I got minoxidil for Christmas because my hair was getting thin.
Really?
Yep.
Why?
I just answered that question. My hair was getting thin, so I got minoxidil.
And what is she doing up there? She's cleaning or something?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, I'm doing the dishes.
Yeah, and he does dishes
Is
in the
it?
stream.
Is those dishes is very a lot of dishes?
Yeah, every day because we don't eat out. We
Why?
just make all. I mean, we do maybe like 4 times a year, or we might get takeout like 4 times a year. We just cook everything. I don't know, so it makes a lot of dishes. So I have to do them every day.
Well,
And
you're a
I'm doing them.
minority in America. The Americans are the
Yeah,
biggest eaters, outside eaters in the world.
yeah, we're just kind of different. We just do things different. Yeah, and
And
I'm just
so,
Well, actually, no.
are you done
In India, they
with
eat a lot
with
of
the
takeaway food.
dishes?
no. I need to finish the dishes because I want to wash my dog later on, and so I need to get all the other chores done so I have time to wash the dog.
And you have earpods to listening to this?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And how would they work? Can you tell me? I really wanna get them.
How
Like
AirPods work?
yes.
That's
How?
a
I
me
would
question.
say you should go to YouTube and type in how do AirPods work, and somebody can
Oh,
explain it to you because
no,
I don't know.
I do know. So
Okay, Hank will tell you.
yeah, so there's radios that go over using the Bluetooth standards, which is like a modified Wi-Fi, and those radios could connect to your PC or phone, and then your and inside your called AirPods, there's a speaker that will decode the light signal and also a sound signal embedded in the light signal.
Is it really good than headphones or no? Which one's good,
Yes,
Hank?
yes,
Oh,
they're good. But
then my
the
headphone.
yeah, the issue is that the mics are usually not that good because they don't have as much space to put mic recording equipment. But for playback, they're great. They're great for playback, but they're not good for um, recording because there's less power in the microphone.
That makes sense. And so these are not good, or the headphones or earbuds.
The earphones are better in every way except for the fact that they take up more space. So
That makes. So what?
so there's trade-offs. So if you're big on traveling, then earpods work better. But if you want higher quality, then headphones work better. And riddle me this, Noel. StreamYard
Yes.
doesn't get my camera isn't working in StreamYard, but somehow my share screen still works, even though the video comes from the same device. So I don't understand StreamYard's saying it's a firewall. It doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't make sense that what is it? I'm sorry.
Well, when I try to turn my camera on, I just get black on screen on YouTube. I could see myself, but it doesn't get to YouTube. But I could still share screen just fine. So but StreamYard is blaming the firewall, but that doesn't make sense because it's coming off the same device. Look me
What's the firewall? That's really interesting. What is that?
Yeah, firewall is software that drops network packets. But my share screen works just fine, so it can't be the firewall. It's just enshrification in the software. Because we still had to come out
So it's
go to
AI
the same
coding.
firewall. Yeah.
So did they bad AI coding or something?
I don't know who coded it, but they done goofed.
Can AI code now? Do they use AI as coding stuff?
AI can code for 50 years.
Right.
That's what compilers are. The AI is coding machine code from your source code.
I think it's going to be the next level of abstraction AI, where people are going to need to know how to code less, and they're going to ask AI to do the coding.
It's just an extension to IDEs.
It's like going from a compiler to machine code to a compiler.
Yeah. Now they can spitball.
So
faster.
what do you think is the problem, Hank? Is it the code or something else?
The problem's there in enshrification. They've been raising prices and be lower in quality. They're by cutting testing. So the stuff that used to work just fine stopped working just fine. And they're charging me more to get what I get. And that grinds my gears.
Are you going to write a complaint letter to the company using ChatGPT?
No, I already put in a ticket for this other thing that I'm pissed off at them about that I haven't had time to follow up with. My Kick stream, I'm supposed to be streaming to kick.com. That every time I try to do that, I get kicked out of the studio, ironically. So the stream doesn't go to Kick, the visual entity platform of choice. It just doesn't work. From Benjamin's stream, I think from my StreamYard, it still works, but that's kind of silly because we Benjamin's paying for the multiple outputs too, but it doesn't work here for no reason. It's not like Benjamin banned it. It's just it doesn't work, and it's StreamYard's fault.
Yeah, I'm for going to a new one. We can leave StreamYard because StreamYard is like had a monopoly for a long time, and I'm sure there's other stuff that's popped up since then.
Yeah, Restream.io, it's been working. Breakfast Tacos prefers Restream.io to StreamYard.
Restream's good. We could try Restream.
Yeah, we could try Restream.
It's the same stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it just. Let me try to see if it's on my end. I'll get a Restream thing up today, and today or tomorrow, and I report the thing. But I mean, I'm paying more and stuff's working less often. That's just stupid.
Yeah, like anything will be cheaper than this, and it'll probably have different innovations there too.
Yeah, and the excuse that it's your firewall. That doesn't make any sense. Knowing that my share screen works just fine. It can't be the firewall because the share screen shouldn't work. There's no reason for the share screen to work and my camera to not work.
Yeah. Also, the tools in StreamYard are pretty limited. I don't know how they are other places. Maybe everyone is limited, but they don't really have any introduction options. They just have that countdown thing.
It's that you can add more stuff to it, but then
Yeah, you can.
but it's annoying.
It is, yeah. You can add it yourself, yeah, but there's no like automatic generator of it or
Really?
no AI integration, nothing.
Yeah, the most AI integration is just you can what we call it? On my side, I can use AI to give the thumbnail, and that's not too.
Yeah, but it doesn't. No, it's not even. It doesn't even design its own thumbnail. It's like an automatic thumbnail with like the name of the stream.
Yeah, and they took that away for 6 months for some reason. It didn't.
Yeah.
Hank.
Yes.
What is AI?
Literally it stands for artificial intelligence, but
Yes,
when most people use the term, it just means software.
And so is it bad? We use that. I never used it before.
You're using it now to encode your video, so
is it bad or is it good?
It's good.
I haven't used it, so you can put a fake picture up,
or your real picture,
and then you can make it AI. Like you can make it like
it's already AI. The AI has to encode the video.
Have you used it, Hank, or no?
I'm using it now.
And is it really bad? Like I don't know much about it. I know a little about it, but not.
I said it was good twice already.
Hank is just going to confuse you, Noel, because he's using the term very, very, very generally. There's different specific reasons you would design AI, and they've been designed for so many reasons for such a long time. But the new ones are linked to producing images and to producing text. And so those are the popular ones that people are using. And people are using the text producing ones to interact with and pretend like they're human.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And I think it's software that teaches itself, learns by itself, or you add information to it and it'll turn that information into something else that you want it to be or something. I don't know exactly how it works, but it's pretty smart.
It doesn't learn by itself. They spend a whole lot of money and a whole lot of time stuffing the whole internet into it.
Look, it's a tool. It's very useful. All of the time and money was used for something. It was productive. There's a lot of uses for it, and it's only going to get better and more useful. We're going to be more dependent on it, not less.
But I heard there's a limit to how much you can learn. Sorry.
But what about hammers? Are hammers good or bad?
They're a tool. Yeah. Same thing. You're right.
Yeah.
But I heard there's a limit to how much you can learn, because once AI starts releasing more stuff, then the AI will learn from its own AI, and then it'll have a limit to growth.
Yep, that's right.
Which I don't think we've reached yet. There probably will be a time.
I mean, its limit to growth is also by our own state of the world. I mean, imagine AI came out and read the Wikipedia 300 years ago. They would have a much different worldview back then.
Excuse me. How when they get it to be the better?
When we get better, it'll get better. That's one of the things I'm saying, because we are the training.
Who made it? Like, who made AI? Like, who made yeah.
It has a bunch of different fathers, but like the neural networks has its own. Let me see who invented the neural network. I should know that name.
Alan Turing and this English fella recently.
No, that's a different thing. That he made the Turing machine.
Warren McCulloch and Walter Pitts is what they're attributing it to it.
Right, but I think Alan Turing was the first guy to talk about AI. He predicted it.
No, yeah, I guess. But Jeffrey Everest Hinton is the one who invented neural networks specifically. He was born in 1947.
I mean, I can't give Turing credit because they had golems in the Bible, so someone else thought of it before he did.
Right.
I have a question for Noel. Hey,
Yes.
are you listening? Yeah.
Yes.
So I've noticed you're very curious. You like to understand how things work.
Yes.
Do you ever like have a curiosity, a question, and you just look it up on YouTube?
No,
Or
I do not.
you don't? Why not? You ask a person?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Because like I am used to it.
Yeah.
High
But
play.
how did you come here?
Yeah.
You're curious about us. You must be trained by the CIA to pretend that you're
No.
special needs, but you're not.
No.
So why you're in a lot of panelverse. You're in the panelverse a lot.
Yes.
So you must
Yes, I
like
am.
the political stuff. You must like the politics and the science and all that. So you're
It's
pretty smart
kind of.
for
Kind of.
so you like the politics and religion and science stuff?
Kind of.
All right.
Or is it more that you like to just interact with people? Like you like to see people and interact with them and say hi, how are you? What are you up to?
My
It's like both.
my theory is she just really wants to talk about her day, so she asks everyone so that someone eventually asks her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's my current working hypothesis as well.
Yes.
Yeah, like an EJ thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, and so she has her own channel, but she likes she wants to play. So
Yeah. She just likes to hang out and interact.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I'm here. I'm not really that into a lot of things. Well, no, I'm into a lot of things shallowly, but I'm not like deep into all this, the political and the science stuff.
But you consume on your own too.
Yes, yeah, and when I'm curious, I look things up. I generally look things up first before asking. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have no idea why there would be another way.
Yeah.
Well, if
Yeah,
you just have a whole bunch of servants,
You
they'll
could
look
ask
things up
God.
on your behalf. So you
I
want
mean,
to
it's
do it yourself.
crazy. You know, my sister will ask me questions, text me a question and I'll say, "Let me Google that for you."
Right.
You know, it's like it just seems like such a roundabout way to gain information.
To get to Google, yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. But yeah, humans are very curious animals. If we didn't have curiosity, we'll still be in the Stone Age. I mean, that's the brain for you. I mean, they say when we started cooking food is when our brains evolved very quickly or something. Or some say it's because we took mushrooms. Because there's a period in the past where the evolution of the brain changed quickly. And there's some theories that say it's because of the cooking of food, or it's magic mushrooms, or it's something else. Not sure.
Do you know what a box jellyfish is, Sean?
Say that again. My internet went off.
Do you know what a box jellyfish is?
Yeah, but it's still not as smart as a human being. I mean, the dumbest human on earth is probably smarter than a box jellyfish.
Yeah, it's probably one of the most simple cognitions. Yeah, but do you know how it works? Have you seen it at all?
Yeah, is it that very small, very poisonous thing in hot waters?
No, it has a specific prey that it eats, and it has to go out far away from land during the night. It's got to navigate the world a little bit. And so what it actually has 4 eye brains. It has 4 brains connected to eyes, and each of those eyes has four different kinds of eyes that are scanning the environment in different ways. So you have these 4 eye brains that are all trying to work together to try to coordinate how do we navigate this world that we're seeing. And it sees the world in a very low resolution picture. It's not seeing anything that we would consider sensory. It's seeing gradients in the atmosphere. It's seeing weird stuff to navigate the world. But it's working together. These 4 eye brains work together and navigate the oceans and survive and reproduce and do all that stuff all on their own. But basically what happens is, like, what happens if you have one eye brain saying we need to move left and the other eye brain says we need to move right, and they have a contradiction. So, like, how would you resolve those contradictions between the eye brains? And so, like, that's what you would need for cognition, for some kind of consciousness. You need something to get those different representations from the different eye brains and resolve them, make some kind of decision on them. So get the representations, manipulate the representations, and make decisions.
Excuse me, like, why did you ask that question to me?
Because I'm also a curious person, and I was curious about what you're processing, like how you make decisions. Because when I feel curious about something, I just look it up, and that's how I do it. But you do it differently, and that's okay. I'm just curious about people, so I'm curious about you.
Oh, like, do a lot of
Benjamin, we
people
didn't
look
understand
things
half
up?
what you said there. Sorry.
Do a lot of people look things up?
Yeah, a lot of people look things up. Like your question, if I was wondering how AirPods work, I wasn't, because I don't really care. I just use them and I like them because they're convenient. But if I wanted to know, I would go to YouTube and just type in how do AirPods work. And there's probably like a nice video that explains it in simple language. So that would just be my approach,
Benjamin, sorry about, I didn't understand what you were talking about with consciousness and the box jellyfish. I didn't understand half what you said.
So what happens if one eye brain wants to go left, the other one wants to go right? How does the box jellyfish overall navigate those contradictions?
The democracy.
Right, something like that. Yeah, they have to work together. Yeah, something has to make a decision. So, like, that's very simple. That could be automatic. And you know what? Some box jellyfish will die when they run into too many contradictions. Or there could be like some additional system that's there to just receive very basic information and sort out and make decisions and optimize itself in that domain, optimize its decision-making process and optimize its prioritizing and all of this stuff, right? And so once you get something that's optimizing itself to make decisions, that's the seed of consciousness.
No, I looked up consciousness on YouTube there. There's a short video how it explains it. And I don't know
Yeah,
if
you're not much on YouTube.
there. So you're saying that all living creatures have consciousness or something?
I'm sure that a lot of them do. Yeah. Whatever has to resolve. Yeah, whatever's getting a picture from the environment. Like dogs obviously are conscious. Sorry to say. I don't know if people don't believe in that, but yeah, they're obviously conscious. They're getting representations. They're making decisions.
Well, the best way to protect them is to eat less animal products, because the main cause of biodiversity collapse is animal agriculture. So if you want to save wildlife, eat less animal products.
Sure.
I mean, I didn't notice. I was an environmentalist for like long time, and then my sister shared me a video called Cowspiracy. It's on Netflix. It explains to you how animal agriculture is the main cause of biodiversity collapse, and the water pollution and CO2 emissions. Well, it's up there in CO2 emissions, and it's very bad ethically for the animals too. They're not treated well.
I like how Benjamin didn't bother to pat himself on the back, even though he's already a vegetarian. You didn't even bother to pat yourself on the back for moral high ground because you're a vegetarian, even though you are. So, I'm giving you a hand for that. Thank you.
Well, you just let the cat out of the bag.
Some won't remember.
Good for you, Benjamin. Are you buying the Remilk? You know, there's a company in Israel now that's making fake milk out of fermented bacteria or fungus, and they're selling it in shops, and it tastes just like milk. It's amazing.
I've never tried it. No.
The company is called Remilk, and they're selling it in shops in Israel. They're only in Israel. They're pretty cool. I'm following them.
I never heard of it.
Yeah, so they're hoping to replace a lot of the dairy industry with fake milk.
Yeah. I know there's a company here too that does fake eggs, but like they look like eggs, they crack like eggs, they cook like eggs. It's kind of weird.
What the heck? How do you manage to emulate eggs?
I know.
I can understand the beat up eggs, but actually they can fake the shell too. That's interesting. I gotta look into that.
I mean, yes, that's why I think that the biggest, if you want to save nature and all the wild animals, the main way to save it is reducing animal agriculture, plant-rich diet. And it's also good for our health. If you eat too much meat, which a lot of the Western world does, and increasingly in the poor countries, it's not as good for our health because we eat too much saturated fats, and saturated fats, a lot of it comes from animal products like dairy and the saturated fat and meat and stuff like that, and nitrates and salt and all that. But I bet you Joe Rogan would disagree with me.
Joe Rogan would choke you out.
Yeah, but I would trigger him so hard with my facts. He would die of heart attack from the truth. Hurts so much.
I thought the truth set you free, though.
No, some people just can't handle the truth.
Oh, Sean, I looked into different slave trades because you were pointing at the slave thing for a little bit, and I saw about the Arab slave trade. It lasted like 400 years. It was pretty horrible. It seems like a Holocaust, like really, really bad.
Yeah, I heard the South Koreans, I mean, the Asians were at it too. Like all cultures were big slave. But I think the Aborigines or like some tribal people weren't as big into slavery. I think it was more the developed civilizations that had more slaves. I could be wrong.
What I saw from the Arab slave trade is they were trading weapons for slaves. So the more slaves they would get, the more weapons they would give, and they would go out and catch more slaves in Africa. So we're just making Africans turn on each other. And it lasted like 400 years. And they didn't give people water so much in the desert on the way. So basically only about 20% of them survived. They would castrate all of the men and use all of the women as concubines. And they just treated them as like chattel. It seems like a very horrible period of history. A very dark thing that no one really knows. It's worse than the Holocaust by far.
I bet you they use religion as an excuse. A lot of those people had religion as an excuse.
No, I don't think it was religion as an excuse, but they had no morals to keep to. Yeah, they were very no morals with the slaves. Like all slave trades are bad, right? But there's bad slave trades, and then there's like that. They're really bad.
Yeah, that could be up there, but I heard that the Asians were pretty bad. I heard the South Koreans had the worst slavery in the world or something.
The South Koreans?
Yeah, I could be wrong there. But yeah, I mean, humans, our morals have changed. Like, we've progressed. Like, moral wise, pedophilia was probably more common back, and it was accepted back in the day. And slavery and murder. I heard murder was way more common back in the day as well.
Probably.
So technology, like they say, fossil fuels, like the car is equivalent to 400 slaves of energy. So fossil fuels has replaced a lot of the labor, manual labor that people had to work for, which was used by slaves a lot back in the day.
Also, the financial system has replaced a lot of slaves.
How so? I thought the financial system aided it as well.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
What? Hello?
Yeah, I was agreeing
internet's
with
pretty
you.
bad. So in the future, AI will be our slave. No, the AI will turn us into slaves.
No.
You got it right the first time.
We'll reduce work over time. We'll reduce work, and we'll need to work less.
Well, they say that we actually work more now than we did in the Stone Age. Some people are saying, but I think we're
No,
probably
not at all.
working more mentally, not physically.
We used to have to live
Hero?
in we used to have to live in collective cultures to keep up with all the work. We used to have a lot of kids and all that kind of stuff to keep up with all the work. Big families. Like just getting a laundry machine, how much work does that reduce? You know what I mean?
Yeah. But imagine if we evolved differently and we evolved to be more solitary, we wouldn't have progressed as much. We'd be still probably around, but we probably won't be as
We wouldn't have civilizations. We wouldn't have as much language. We wouldn't have as much
well,
art.
I think the nomadic life, like the tribes, like the really tribal Stone Age lifestyle people, maybe they are less social than other humans.
No, they're more social. They're more social. Ancient civilizations are way more social.
All right, so they had to talk to each other more and kill each other more and
on average,
do everything.
Yeah.
Okay. But we'll be friends with AI in the future. We'll have AI wives, AI sex robots, AI workmates,
Some
AI.
people will go down that
everything.
path, and their genes won't get passed on. Don't worry.
Yeah, but the AI wife will be able to have babies, but it'll be like a robot, half human with like.
Probably not. We
know?
talked about also being able to like clone yourself and stuff like that. It'll be a weird world.
Yeah, it'll be like Futurama or something. I mean, do you really think religion will survive in the future with all the knowledge we're going to learn? Like,
I hope not.
I think AI is going to debunk a lot of people's beliefs. When people use AI to question their beliefs, a lot of their beliefs are going to be critiqued and debunked.
No, AI will just solidify beliefs.
Yeah, it will just solidify beliefs. I defeat your atheism, but you're probably gonna walk out here and say, "Oh, you're still an atheist," even though you admitted to see God in Dark Matter 25 cartoons.
Yeah, obviously you could change AI to be more pro your side. But if you were to make it more critical of yourself, obviously it's the humans that have to accept the truth, and maybe they just don't know how to. They're not smart enough to tell which is true, which is false, or they know it's false, but they have cognitive dissonance and they don't like that or something.
Yeah, I was saying before, like if AI was trained on a different generation, let's say 300 years ago or 1,000 years ago, let's say it was trained on the knowledge of ancient Greece or something from their perspective. So it would have a very different picture of the world, and you would come to it and start talking about all of this new stuff. It would argue with you. You'd be like, no, that's not the way the world works. No, everyone knows that when you die, your heart gets weighed against a feather. Come on. It's like, that's what it would believe, like quote unquote believe. That's what it would be designed around.
Yeah, but I still think that AI is going to make a lot of people that I disagree with question their beliefs. I could be wrong, though. I hope it's correct, but it might also make people believe in worse, more falsehoods, too.
Sean,
Hopefully
have
not.
you heard of chatbot psychosis?
No, I heard there's some people that kill themselves from AI and stuff like that. Yeah.
So chatbot psychosis has been someone uses the chatbot to reinforce their beliefs, and they just dig into them even though the facts contradict their beliefs. So that's going to happen to
There's that too,
weak-minded
yeah.
people. Yeah, so that's going to happen to weak-minded people, and the opposite of what you hope will happen will happen.
Yeah, and there's lots of quote unquote atheist beliefs that are very bad for society, and they were pushed in that direction, and the chatbot's going to reinforce those too.
Like the League
Yeah,
of
but I bet you if I were
Atheism or the Atheist Code of Austin, those kind of things.
Yeah, but I bet you if I were to talk to the AI about my morals and my beliefs, it would probably criticize some of it. Like, it probably say, I would say hypothetically, what would happen in the future if atheists were take over and we're all vegan? And I've asked that already, actually. But there is obviously there is some negative side effects, but mainly positive, I think. Subjectively, obviously.
They took over the USSR, and then the economy crashed. So
The problem with AI is it's dumber than the smartest people, and it's smarter than the stupidest people. So for some people, it's going to be a net positive.
Yeah.
So yeah, for you, it's probably a good thing, Sean.
Hey,
oh, come on. That was a good one.
That was a dig at me.
Yeah, it was a good
You
dig.
think
Come
I'm
on,
stupid? Do you think I'm stupid? You want some? Huh? It's a meme video of a guy saying that. You want some? I'm going to let someone else talk.
It's monetary.
Yeah, it definitely interferes with very natural cognitive processes. It'd be interesting to see overall how it affects like the interhuman cognitive processes.
Yeah, a couple of people are ready to chatbot psychosis. They did this hallucinate things that you didn't say, and then they'll dig in, and then they'll just be stuck in looping their problems till hopefully they'll snap out of it.
Yeah, I mean, there are people out there anyways that are just looking to reaffirm their beliefs anyways. So it's not like AI is making it worse. It would have been bad probably regardless. But yeah, it doesn't help for sure if an AI is agreeing with you and you're wrong.
But this is saving a lot of money because before they had to go to a therapist to validate their beliefs. So,
right.
Of course, the therapists have to stick to the state scripts. So if you can't build these beliefs to contradict what the state wants. So that's why, unless you have a lot of money, then you can just do what you want.
You know the way they say there's only one truth. So there's only one moral way to do things. There's only one scientific way to do things. We're all trying to find the truth.
Not at all. I don't. That doesn't make any sense at all, because truth is just a feeling.
No. Well, yeah, it's a positive feeling if it's correct, but it's a negative feeling if it's wrong. But to find the truth, there's only one truth, and you have to find that truth, and you have to find different ways to find the truth. And there's a saying that it says, "The truth leans left," which I kind of agree with, but I'm not sure if it's correct.
So I get what you're saying, Sean, but we are cognitive beings that need work on models. We don't work on truth. We work on models. And our models approach truth, but they're still models.
What does that mean, models? Sorry.
Conceptualization of mechanics.
Go on.
Like Newtonian physics is a model of the universe, right? We use it. We use the model of Newtonian physics. We use it to get to the moon. So it's not the truth, but it's a model of the universe. And then you have an Einstein picture of the universe, which is also a model. So it's not the truth, but it's a model, and it matches reality, and it can get us to the moon, right? It can fix our GPS.
Well, yeah, you know what I mean. The truth. You could also say the correct theory, or the truth in philosophy, or the truth in the right religion, the truth in morals, the truth in. There's one truth in every subject, as I think anyway.
Really?
There's always one. There's always correct. There's always correct and negative, and then there's in between, which is unknown.
Okay,
but there's
Sean,
always a choice to be.
What is the true cup size?
Say that again. Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
What is the true cup size?
Oh, I don't know. But I think if you were to apply statistics to it, it's probably a cup size. You mean like for like drinking?
See, it's so ambiguous, you don't know where to start.
Well, you know what I mean by truth. It's like we use truth to mean different things. I'm not saying I'm saying it's like philosophy stuff. I'm talking smack here, probably, which is what a lot of philosophy is, really.
Yeah, and I just destroy your notion of fault much effort at all. I mean, you don't know where to start with the question because you don't know what kind of cup I'm talking about. So they can't really be a true cup size because it's more than one kind of cup.
The other thing we do is we work in narratives. So we also identify truth with a narrative, which again, narratives are just one perspective.
Sorry, I don't even know what that means. Narrative. I don't have low vocabulary.
Yeah. Narratives like
it's story.
Who hurt you?
Yeah, narrative means story.
Yeah, but that is very subjective. Like stories, like they could be fake stories or true stories, like factual stories or true stories.
And then you also have reality based on our own paradigms, right? So we can never really know what reality is. We just have sensory information and stuff like that. But we can say whatever that sensory information is, it came from something that was real, and that reality is true. So that's also a way to look at truth, right?
So yeah, so reality is what we see with the scientific method, the laws of nature, everything around us, basically. But some of the reality that we have is fake, is not real, I think.
Yeah, a very limited understanding of reality. That's right.
But some of our reality can be false.
Right. So we model reality in narratives a lot of the time.
Which can be false stories.
Yes. By definition, they have to be false. But they're the way we represent reality.
Wait, so you're saying that we have to believe in a falsehood to represent reality?
Yes. It's the most accurate way we can model reality. So we have models. We have narratives. Narratives are a way to represent reality, right?
What
They're
are models
false.
again? Can you explain? What are models? Can you explain to me what a model is?
What did I say, Hank? Mechanics?
Pretty much a model's representation of a mechanical operation, I guess.
Yeah.
So you're basically saying that we need falsehoods in the beginning to get to the truth. We start off with a religion, let's say, which is false.
So we can definitely
mythology
know,
or whatever.
We can definitely know things that are completely false, right? And some things are relatively true, so they're not completely 100% false, like they work 99.9% of the time. So we call them true, but they're really just a model that sort of properly models reality to some degree.
Like, are you saying that religion is a big model?
Religion,
different models?
Sure, religion is kind of like a collective model. Yeah. But so are, yeah.
Yeah, but you said that models are usually factually incorrect. Is that what you said?
Models are not reality. They are of reality. They model reality, but they're not reality itself.
Yeah, they're like copies of reality that we can hold our hands. Yeah, the representations of reality that we can think about.
The physics engine in your game isn't really how reality works, but it models reality very well.
Oh, you're like saying the scientific method is a model, or philosophy is a model, and all that.
It's not a method; it's more like a framework than a model. It's its way to think, but there's a sense where it is a model too. Framework is a set of tools.
Like, I was listening to this Christian channel, apologist channel, and he said, "Can you use a scientific method to prove the scientific method?"
That's Jim Bob. Made by Jim Bob. I know his catchphrases.
The scientific method is designed to falsify bad models, at least.
Yeah, figure out which ones don't work. Then we use the ones that we couldn't prove that. We use the ones that hasn't failed yet.
Right. And when they fail, we're just like, oh, that means we need to make a better model.
Yeah, but what is his famous? What does Jim Bob use the most to debunk the science guys?
He fails to debunk the scientific methods. He uses his argument from ignorance most of the time.
Which is, sorry, man, I'm new to this.
I don't understand it. Therefore, it's wrong. That's argument for ignorance. Or argument for incredulity. I think that's another name for it.
Oh yeah, they use a lot of the presuppositional argument. I don't get that. Can you explain to me?
Oh yeah, so presup means you make an assumption. Then I guess yeah. Presup just means you just have an assumption. It's really not that big a deal. except the fact that usually it seems something strange, like they assume everyone's an Orthodox Christian. They start from their own. Everyone starts from their own worldview, but falls apart once they start. That other people start talking, and they got to their conclusions anyways. When that breaks their model, they don't make any sense anymore.
Right.
Yeah. When your model starts falling apart, you have a chance to fix it with falsehood, and a lot of people tend to do that, which ends up making their model very bad.
Right. See, I need to research this philosophy stuff more, because I think the laws of logic, the laws of non-contradiction, the laws of fallacies, and all that stuff. It's very useful to find the truth. You know what I mean? All these philosophical stuff.
And it's very useful to ward away scammers and creeps and knuckleheads.
Yep.
I sent Hank a video a little while ago from someone who had a good take on it. Did you see that one, Hank?
I got bored and didn't finish it.
Oh, it was all just basic stuff that you already knew, probably.
Yep.
Yeah. But it might be useful for Sean.
So
Right.
LVPS 17 says, Benjamin, you could maybe use Descartes, think, therefore am, if familiar for explanation. So I think that's they mean I think, therefore I am.
Yeah. You could take it all the way back down to there. Some people really get stuck in the solipsistic view of the world, but you could relate it all back down to there.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. What solipsism? What does that mean?
Well, you get stuck into your own consciousness, and the only thing that's real is your own cognition and stuff like that. I think, therefore I am. Your existence is your thought.
Which can be false.
No, it's true. It's the only thing you can know to be true. It's the one and only truth you can know. But from that, you know that, okay, if I am, then something must be allowing me to exist. And so from that, like from the starting of I'm thinking, therefore I am, that's the only thing I know that is true. But something must allow me to exist. And therefore you can branch out from it and know more things. So yeah, everything has to reduce down to there at some level, but then you have to make that cognitive leap and say, you know what, there is existence outside of my own perception. And once you make that cognitive leap, you're just, you know, it's an assumption that you make, but it's an assumption that we all have to make to some degree. Because otherwise, why eat? Why live? Why do anything? So there must be something beyond you.
Yeah, and solipsism is very easy to defeat. I use secrets and cryptography to prove that solipsism is false, because if solipsism is true and the person who's the solipsist isn't called, pretty much, if the person who's a solipsist doesn't know all my passwords, then solipsism is false, because if we were it will derive from their mentalism. The password has to be part of their knowledge base.
Sorry, Hank. I didn't understand a lot what you said there. It was a bit choppy, the internet.
Yeah, solipsism was true. They would know all the passwords.
Okay, Hank.
And that's how we prove it's false, because
you're right. Solipsism is false. Otherwise, they would know all the passwords.
Yeah.
All right. I thought that logic makes sense.
Well, if our existence derived from their mentalism, any password that exists will have to be in their memory somewhere.
Yeah. That's one thing that I keep doing in my dreams. I don't know how I do it or why I do it, but in my dream, I'm always able to figure out it's a dream because I look for something that I shouldn't be able to know, and it's just like this void. It's like something I can't guess. Yeah.
Yeah, same here. I can easily identify whether I'm dreaming or not.
But yeah, it's basically that. It's like,
yeah.
Is there something that you're blind to that you can ask yourself about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've been lucid dreaming for over 20 years now.
Okay. So it doesn't happen often, but every so often I wake up from that. I'm just like, oh, I figured out I was in a dream. That's why I woke up.
Oh, it's Brown's Boys in the chat.
He's Benjamin. How am I? Okay. I'm Brown's boy. How are you?
Sorry, I still don't get solipsism. So solipsism is a guy who thinks he knows it all, so he doesn't need to do anything. What?
Yeah.
No. No. All right, let's get a definition working for solipsism. God damn it. Solipsism is a philosophical theory which asserts that only your own mind is sure to exist. At its core, it's the idea you cannot truly prove the existence of anything outside of your own consciousness, including the physical world, other people, or historical events. To a strict solipsist, everything else might just be a dream, a hallucination, or a simulation created by your own mind. And they have three types here that it says. There's a metaphysical solipsism, the extreme view. This is the boldest form. It claims that self is the only reality. The belief the external world and other people do not exist at all. They are merely creations of your own consciousness, similar to characters in a dream. The implication, if you die, the entire universe ceases to exist because you are the universe. But how could you even die? Maybe death is a lie. Death is something you created by your own mind. You know, how far can you take it? Okay, the epistemological solipsist, the skeptical view. This is the most common philosophical stance. It does not claim the world definitely doesn't exist. It just claims we cannot prove it does. The belief, the only thing I can know for certain is that I am experiencing thoughts right now. The implication, the external world might exist, but since all my information comes from my unreliable senses, which can be tricked, like in a dream or mirage, I can never be 100% sure. So yeah, I'm kind of more in that camp personally. But I also do believe there is something outside of me. Like I can step over that threshold. I don't need to prove it.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah. And then there's the methodological solipsism, the tool. This is used by thinkers to build robust theories. The approach, I will start by assuming only my mind exists and see what I can logically prove from there. The origin, this was made famous by Rene Descartes. He stripped away all his beliefs until he found the one thing he couldn't doubt, his own thinking. This led the famous phrase, cogito ergo sum. I think, therefore I am. Yeah.
Cool.
You get it?
Nice.
Yeah.
I learned something new there. Yeah, that was nice. I don't think Jesus Christ knew that now. Back in the day. Was solipsism a philosophy before Jesus' time, or was it after?
Yeah, it's a Greek thought. Greek thought was around before Jesus, for sure.
Okay.
But Descartes wasn't around before Jesus.
Yeah, he's after.
Yeah.
But they say that if religion hadn't taken over, that the Greek philosophies and, well, to be fair, they did still have a lot of myths and stuff. But let's say the philosophy of logic and stuff like that were to take over, and the development of the human race would have probably gone quicker, because I heard there's a lot of religious people that didn't like the scientific stuff and the philosophy stuff.
So it's way more messy than you're explaining. A lot of the Greek stuff was incredibly positive for progress in humanity in general, and everybody took a lot of ideas from Greek thought. It was just human thought in general, and they had an open human thought society. So there's a lot of positives there. There's a lot of negatives from their religious view and their worldview of the time as well. But like someone like Aristotle just revolutionized the way we think as human beings. And then like afterwards, if you look at like Galileo, who was a huge contributor to science, he didn't really do the scientific method. He was really bad with the scientific method. And he was proposing things that were true, but he just had no proof he didn't. Yeah. If you look at what he actually tried to propose and tried to do, you'll see that back then, most people would have just sided with the church out of logic. Anyways. But yeah, Aristotle was wrong about a lot of stuff, and it did hold us back, and it did hold science back. And a lot of that came from religion, because religion adopted Aristotle's worldview and solidified it, canonized it.
Oh, so all the laws of logic and contradiction, all those things were kept by the religion. But there were, I heard that religious people also destroyed a lot of knowledge as well, didn't they? They burnt a lot of stuff.
Went against Aristotle. Galileo went against Aristotle, and he happened to be right on this one case, right? And it sort of kicked off physics as we know it. But he had a very bad argument at the time. He was right, but he didn't. Yeah, he did an experiment and it didn't work. So.
Well, back then, everybody thought the Earth was flat, right? And we were the center of the universe.
No. No one thought that. What Galileo said was that, what Galileo said is that if you drop something heavy, Aristotle said something that's heavier falls quicker to the Earth. And so Galileo went out and he's like, are we sure? Let's test it. And so Galileo said, no, heavier stuff doesn't fall to the Earth faster. And they went out and they tested it, and it seemed to, yes, it does actually fall faster. But they didn't consider air resistance and all this other stuff. But but Galileo was right. It doesn't depend on mass how fast something falls to the Earth, especially if you drop them at the same time.
Right.
But yeah, Aristotle held us back of a lot of things.
Yeah, but on the center of the Earth and the Earth being flat, a lot of those beliefs came from mythology and religion.
We watched it last time. We saw a video on parallax. I don't know if have you seen, do you know who parallax is?
No.
So he came around, I think in the 1700s ish. And he proposed the Earth was flat when we already knew the Earth was round. No one questioned it. It was just common. But he was like a Candace Owen. He was trying to.
Sean may know him by another name, Samuel Rowbotham. Have you heard of him?
Rowbotham, yeah.
Yeah, Sam.
No, is he like a Harry Potter character?
Yes. Yes. Harry Potter character, and also a used car salesman.
No, but seriously, so this guy was a flat earther guy.
He was the first
he was
flat
religious.
earther. No, he was the first flat earther, and he did it to entertain people.
And make money.
Come on, it was funny. All of these stuck-up scientists think they know everything, and then he was just poking at them and teasing them and getting them all upset and angry. I would watch that.
Yeah, I would watch that too.
Yeah, come on. But he invented flat Earth, and we're stuck with it.
I do like a good conspiracy theory, but I used to be big into them, but now I'm like, nah, most of it's bullshit. But a lot of people make shit up, like especially now on the internet. They fool people. So it still happens.
But yeah, no, it was widely accepted that the Earth was round for a lot of years before that. Flat Earth is very new.
No, but the Bible says that the Earth was flat.
So he was born in
Well, it implies
1816. So yeah, it was in the 1800s.
Yeah, but
In
the Old
London,
Testament
England.
implies that the Earth was flat.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, look it up there. Hey, hi.
No.
Chat GPT right now.
No.
Why would you want to put the Bible with Chat GPT instead of the Bible? That doesn't make any sense.
Well,
you got to tell me a verse. Give me
a
a verse. Give me a verse. You've got to find it. You made a weird claim that the Bible says the Earth is flat.
I don't know how to leave my page. This is weird. I don't know what's going on with my thing. I just heard atheists say that the Bible has verses that imply that the Earth was flat. According to
that's a straw man. Yeah.
Yeah, and they just say there's no proof of God, and then they'll look at a damn cartoon of God and then play peekaboo. Atheists say the darndest things.
Say that again. I can't understand. Your accent is.
Yeah, atheists say the darndest things. They say there's no evidence for God. Then they comment about seeing God in a damn cartoon.
Yeah, I know. So the Talmud specifically says the Earth is round. It's the sphere, sorry.
No, technically it's a ball because it's full and not hollow.
Right, a ball, right. So it specifically says that.
The Old Testament.
No, the Talmud specifically says it. The Old Testament doesn't talk about it at all.
It does.
No, not really.
Unless you want to cite.
We'll look it up there quickly. I'll look it up.
Yeah, go for it.
But it's a ball, not a sphere, because spirits are hollow. They're
I think the ancient Greeks knew that too. I mean, the ancient Egyptians, I think, even knew it, that the Earth was a sphere or a ball.
I can't look for it because my StreamYard is all weird. I can't leave the page. The video stops when I leave, so I can't.
that's fine.
Anyway, it's fine.
Garden share vacations pissing me off.
You wouldn't have been able to find anything anyways.
That's a good point, Benjamin. It's not in there.
All right, I'll give you that. What is Noel looking at or listening to?
Not us.
Noel. Noel, you listening to some rap music? Rap music videos. Noel, why are you bored? We're talking philosophy and science and
She's watching
stuff.
a video on how AirPods work.
Right. I guess we just bored her to hell.
Yeah.
Right.
She's got a red straw today, though.
Right. Totally.
All right, Sean, I see you've got more topics in your brain there that you're fleshing out. You brought up a whole bunch of interesting topics today.
Well, thanks. I'm just a bit tired there. I was breathing there.
No, you did a good job. Good for you.
I agree. You kept it interesting today.
As usual, yeah.
So do you think my personality is the same? What did you say my personality was?
I think feminine sensory, whatever it is. Yeah, Annie?
I hadn't really noticed that, but I was thinking feminine thinking.
Feminine thinking? Okay.
Or feminine DE.
Yeah.
Right. It's just like the number of times that he says, I don't know about that. I could be wrong. I don't know. There's something feminine about that. Like I would say that with my feminine TE, you know,
Maybe.
or I might say, this is what I heard, but I don't know for sure. But I also just don't know anything for sure. So that's my blanket caveat statement to everything. So I don't know.
Neither do any of us, Annie.
I know. Yeah, I know. But like people, like they speak as if they do.
Right.
Yeah.
Feminine. That was kind of triggering for me because yeah, I guess I kind of am feminine, but that's
you're not
positive, I think.
No, feminine. Your sensory is. We're talking about your cognition, not about like you're masculine. You're a masculine guy, right? But your sensory is feminine, I think.
What does that mean? Sensory.
Like I have masculine sensory, and it just means, I mean, it shows up in certain ways. Like, first of all, I remember things, remember details, but also in the way that I throw things around physically, you know, and that's a combination of masculine FI and masculine sensory. You know, like if I'm frustrated and I'm trying to open something, I'm gonna manhandle it. I don't know.
So
those are just anecdotes, though. I don't know.
So men and female have kind of different personalities. So men have more of a different type of personality than women. Yeah.
No, we're talking about masculine and masculine and feminine in terms of just a flavor of the function. It doesn't really have anything to do with men or women. It's like energies, masculine energies, feminine energies. Like everybody has a mix of both.
Yeah, Dave and Shan were good with names.
Yeah, but energy, I only think about energy in the physics side of things. Well, you're using energy as the emotions, but I would just call it emotions. But a lot of pseudoscience people or woo-woo people say my energy is positive today, but that's just your emotions or your negative emotions. But energy is usually
he's another
implied for physics.
Yeah, so I guess I'm trying to figure out though what is the dominant function. I mean, what's the first function? Or what's the last?
Like he's feminine. I think you're right. He's feminine ST, but he's ST first.
Yeah. There's a lot of like interpreting things literally, or I'm thinking of like where the black and white thinking.
Yeah. Observery, right? He's observery.
Yeah, I would say. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and he said he used to be into conspiracy theories, so maybe that, you know, anecdotally could be an observer.
Be SF, not ST, but he's sensory yeah, sensory.
And I think observer also because, like, you made that joke. I had my mic off, but I was laughing. Some
Yes.
joke. Yeah. He seems like to not be too offended, or even like a couple times, like he just said that hurts my feelings a little bit.
Right.
And he said that last time too, but it's like, that hurt, he's not like, uh,
Yeah, someone
yeah,
who really had
but
their feelings hurt wouldn't say that hurt my feelings,
right.
especially
They
not
would,
in that. Yeah, if they said it, it
yeah,
would be in a very demon state. Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I thought maybe SF over ST, but he's
I
against
think
Wu.
that
He's anti-Wu.
I think there would be a lot of like not very scientific stuff involved in this personality stuff. I don't think there's a lot of I think a lot of it is not. I think if you were to apply the scientific method to a lot of these personality stuff, I don't think it would be correct. But I could be wrong. I'm not an expert.
Yeah, you're indeed wrong, because there were
Yeah.
scientific studies that used MBTI and Big Five. You can easily find them in Google Scholar.
All right. Okay. Fair enough. So
I mean,
psychologists would use
I
this a
think
lot.
no, a lot of, well, some might,
And
but a lot of
Tokyo.
them might think it's stupid and it's bullshit, and also it's like kind of beside the point, like it could be useful depending on how you use it, and it also just really doesn't matter.
It's a model of cognition.
Yeah. And it's also really complicated. Like we could say we're basing this off of, it's more objective because we're basing it off of outside observations rather than the person reporting who they are. But it's still problematic because we're all biased.
Yeah, like you can
Yeah.
get
In
bored,
one way or
and
another.
then you couldn't complete the thing. So
Yeah, and our personalities kind of change. We're not always the same. Well, I don't think my personality has changed in my life much.
Yeah, you're taking it a bit
Probably
too
have.
literally. We're not talking about personality in the way that you're talking about personality. We're talking about just cognitive imbalances and cognitive biases.
Right. But the cognitive stuff is your personality though, isn't it?
Not the way you would colloquially use the word personality. Like you could say that Claude, the chatbot, has a way more interesting personality than ChatGPT, right? Because it definitely does. It has a personality, but it doesn't mean what we're talking about. We're talking about cognition. And so, yeah, cognition can express itself as personality, I guess.
So what does cognition mean? I thought it was just your consciousness or something, or the way your brain works. Is that it?
Yeah. So the way Jung divides it, and prior to Jung, they're also right about it. They're dividing it into just functions that the brain tries to do, that like our cognition tries to do. Our brain is trying to perform certain functions. It has certain capabilities that it can do, and that it has to do, right, in order for us to survive and think and everything we do. So what we're looking at specifically is, okay, out of all these things that the brain can do and has to do, what does it prioritize? Where are the balances? Where are the imbalances? And so from that, you can sort of categorize people and their imbalances and their struggles and all that stuff.
Oh, you're talking about what's his name, Jung?
Also, yeah, Jung. Yeah.
Or is it Freud and Jung? Is it?
Yeah, so this stuff was around before Jung, but Jung brought the introverted, extroverted to the picture. And he sort of tried to define them. He was looking at patients for over 20 years and seeing these patterns and sort of trying to relate those patterns back to us. So he was doing it from like an objective way of thinking. Before that, people were just talking about it in like very non-objectively, not from seeing it in the wild.
Right. Interesting. Because I know that psychology is a young science.
It's a young science.
Well, it's only been around, or therapy, or what's it called? Therapy, psychology, all that is quite young, no?
It's so. Do you know what psychology actually means? Literally,
No.
the study of the soul.
Well, that's wrong. Scientifically, there's no scientific evidence for a soul. So,
well, no. That's what the soul is. The soul is psychology. You're studying the soul. You're studying consciousness. You're studying humanity. So before that, people were studying the soul. They were just calling it something different. They were studying it, and they had conclusions about it. So it's actually really old. Psychology is
so you're
really
thinking
old.
that religion was the psychology of the past, or stories, or morals, and all that. Was the
People who tried
psychology of
to
the past.
map the soul, study the soul. People did all of that chakras and all that stuff. It's because they're trying to map out psychology. What's up, Browns boy? Is your internet working this time?
Right.
Hello.
Hey, what's up?
Hi. I am a link clicker.
Nice.
Yeah, I clicked that link.
Sweet.
And I'm here.
About time. Yeah. You should have
Where
clicked the link way sooner.
Where am I?
You're in reality, my guy.
This is reality? Whoa. How do I define reality? I can't tell if this is reality. On the screen?
Well, that part's fake.
Okay, so I'm participating in reality degeneration.
Yep.
Okay.
It's called entropy. Entropy is the law of everything gets more chaotic or something.
Not quite. Close.
Do you guys think that this
Benjamin is
reality
the chosen-
that we're in together is controlled?
Yes, hopefully I'll be the new management soon.
Who do you think controls this reality that we're in right now?
According to the atheist like me, it's the laws of nature, and we don't know what began it all before the Big Bang. It could be the flying spaghetti monster, or some theories they have, like the string theory or whatever. Benjamin knows it all. He's God, so he probably started it all. But yeah.
So for the last week, I'm gonna say Trump, because he has a lot of main character energy. He captured the president of Venezuela. So so right now I'm gonna say Trump for the last week.
Okay. In this reality, is it okay if I make a sandwich?
Have a good one, Andy.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah. I'll see you
See
guys
you next
later.
week.
Bye.
Bye.
See ya.
I'm gonna go make a sandwich in this reality, and I'll be back.
Well, here's the issue. I'm sleepy, and Benjamin's also sleepy because he's at night. So by the time you get back, the show will probably be over unless you're very quick.
No, this sandwich will probably be the end of my reality with you guys here today.
Yeah.
Okay.
You should jump on earlier and we can have a talk another time. But yeah, it's
Thank you
always
for
good seeing you in the
inviting me.
comments. Yeah, no, it's good seeing you in the comments, and you're always a positive member. You always contribute well, so thanks.
Be easy. Take care, guys.
All right, all right, I think you guys are gonna end it, yeah?
Yeah, I guess so. Hank had a fight with him, right? With the Browns.
I fight a whole bunch of people.
I
have fight with
we never
Paul.
fight yet, Hank. We got to start fighting more.
We fight, but the thing is,
You've been a bit snappy at me lately.
Yeah.
You've been a bit of a.
Yes, we do fight, but we're very gentlemanly about our fights.
Are we? Okay.
Yeah. So if you don't notice, it's just I'm just kind of weak, so I don't really push you too far. I need to train more.
You don't want to antagonize me too much. You're too scared. I get it. I'm scary.
All right, we'll go with that.
Hey. Noelle's bobbing her head to some music, it looks like.
Is she drumming?
I guess so.
I like in her reality, even though she's oblivious to a lot of the things.
We're all
ignorance is bliss.
most of everything, yeah. We're also all oblivious to most of reality.
Yeah, if we knew all reality, our freaking brains will boil. It's just too much information.
Yeah, that's right.
Well,
anyways,
the
we'll
AI
end with that
could
one.
know. All right, but the AI will know everything.
No, it won't. Bye.
Even